into me. 'Cause if you gonna be crying, you know I ain't gonna be talking to you. Thank you. That is beautiful. Do you love that? Oh, man. Yeah. Now, don't you cry for me. Don't you cry for me. Poor Howie, screwed by the FCC. Now, don't you cry, baby. I'll do all the worrying for both of us. Because when I hear you crying, it makes me very sad. Go ahead. Beautiful. I got the FCC done breaking my balls blues. Yeah. Thank you. Wow, that's some music. Boy, that's a hit. I got to get into the studio. How soon can I get into the studio?
You got to put that crying to it, yeah.
Yeah, oh, jeez. Fred, book me some studio time immediately. All right, I'll be back right after these words.
We're back with the Howard Stern Show.
Okay. Thank you for the nice introduction. Well, where do we begin? What a wild trip to Cleveland. For anybody who didn't hear our show on Friday, it was pretty nutty out there in Cleveland. Man, that's all anyone's talking about. Every time I go somewhere, you know, all weekend long, everyone was like, what happened in Cleveland? What's going on with all that? What's wrong with that engineer? What, is he crazy? Just self-destructed. I go, well, there's a whole story to it. Let's go into it. From what I can tell, I mean, I haven't heard any new information. Have you?
No, all I know is what happened on Friday.
Yeah, and it became like national news. And the reason that this story is national news is because it just shows how far morality has sunk in this country. It's like everyone in our generation used to scream about Nixon and dirty tricks and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, Nixon should have gone to jail and all this kind of thing.
Seems that Nixon was just like everybody else.
Yeah, Nixon reflected the people. The people just don't know what they're doing.
Well, how could kids run around screaming about the lack of morality and the lack of ethics and then grow up to do the same thing?
Well, I'll explain to you how it works. Okay. When things come to me, it's all fuzzy. But, you know, the FCC is so worried about what you hear on the radio. I wonder if they're worried about...
people knocking each other off the air.
Yeah, I wonder if they're worried about what kind of example that sets for young people. Well, from what I understand, they are.
Remember when that guy broke into several TV stations with his own transmission?
Yeah.
How upset the FCC got, and they definitely wanted to find him, and they wanted to prosecute him?
Yeah.
I hope they remember that same kind of zealousness in this case.
Zealous. Nice word. Good word. Good word. A little highbrow for this show, but good.
Well, look it up.
So, we go to Cleveland. We decide to do the show. The funniest part of it is that we have a meeting the night before we're going to do that outdoor show for Cleveland, and the program director, Doug Podell, was a basket case because he says, I know they're going to try and disrupt the broadcast. I know they're going to try and disrupt the broadcast.
We have backup after backup after backup because we're looking for sabotage.
Yeah, they're going to try and jam our satellite. They're going to try and cut our wires. So we get to the broadcast the next day. There's absolutely zero security around the wires. I mean,
what was he thinking of?
I mean, you can't put any security around the satellite because the satellite is it's over the air. But there's a cable leading from our truck to the satellite that, you know, if it's cut, that's the end of your transmission.
Right.
And seeing as how you're expecting sabotage, I think you'd have somebody out there checking things out. Meanwhile, the chief engineer from a competing radio station, WMMS, now I don't see in the paper confirmation that it's the chief engineer. They say it's an employee of WMMS.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to get confirmation of that.
Well, from what I had heard, he had just been promoted.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure who it is. Oh, good, we got a whole bunch of tapes to play for you about it. Is that all the broadcasts?
It's not all of them. It's just real number one of many.
Oh, good. Well, I want to play them all.
I have all of them.
Good.
Just wanted to get you these first.
Good work. I'm glad you stayed over in Cleveland a little extra. Get all that stuff together.
That's right.
Yeah, thank you.
That's why I was there.
Yeah, Scott, good man, stayed over.
I think he likes Cleveland.
Scott's moving to Cleveland. He's going to do the show from Cleveland every day. How'd you like Cleveland, Scott?
I was very busy. I didn't get to see a lot of it, but
sure,
it looks pretty good.
Why are you stuttering?
I'm not stuttering. I'm trying to get this thing off the machine here.
Yeah. Let me do it, you. I am so gassy, I am dying.
You know, I was reading something this weekend. Your digestive system is all messed up.
Oh, you're not kidding.
No.
Let me tell you that I read today this week that first of all, you're not supposed to have any gas at all.
Did you read that?
Yes. And second of all...
Then I'm in big trouble.
Yeah, believe me, I thought of you when I was reading this. Jackie, this is for you. When you go to the bathroom, it should have very little smell.
Yeah, right.
How's that happen?
Because you're supposed to have about a 12-hour turnaround in the time you take in food and the time the waste products it produces comes out of your body.
Yeah.
And because of our bad diets and chemicals and everything else. But even you are subjected to the environmental conditions of smoking, car exhaust, fumes, ozone, whatever's in the air.
Where am I living, in Guam?
And there's tons of pesticides in your food, even if you're eating as clean as you possibly can.
So then I can't help it, is what you're saying.
Well, no, I'm not saying you can't help it. I'm just saying that over the years, when you weren't eating that well, you messed up the whole system.
Oh.
And things got in there and they putrefied.
Well, you want to know? I ate, for dinner last night, I ate about half a head of broccoli with some tuna fish and salsa sauce. And that was it. And holy mackerel, Lemmy.
There wasn't even any beans.
That was there might have been a few in there, but I got to tell you something. I pass wind, but I mean with a smell I don't even recognize.
Well, I'm telling you, you did one in the car.
Yeah.
In Cleveland.
Oh. No, that wasn't me. Honest to God.
You?
Swear to God on the life of my children.
Howard.
What do you think of that?
What, was that Cleveland?
Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, that was Cleveland. That was not me.
Cleveland stinks.
I would not have farted in the car.
Why did you roll down the window and said, uh-oh? You said, uh-oh, and rolled down the window.
No, I was kidding. I'm not kidding. I was kidding.
Well, why did it smell so bad after you did that? And it didn't smell bad right away.
I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe I take it back. I don't remember farting in the car.
Didn't you smell it, Fred? Fred and I were dying.
Oh, you guys are babies. I don't remember
what
farting.
you did. You stuck your rear end out the window and did.
Oh, that one.
Right, and it
but that was
back
announced.
in.
That was announced. I thought you meant an SBD. Silent but deadly.
No, you.
But let me tell you something. Last night, after I ate this broccoli concoction, and I did it to lose weight. You know, I said, hey, there's no calories in broccoli. There doesn't seem to be any calories in this salsa sauce, any to speak of. And can of tuna, what the hell could that be? I figure, wow, that's a real light dinner. Mm-hmm. And man, am I blasting away all night.
But it's all that stuff that's still impacted in your bowel.
Yeah, I might have to go for one of those high colonics. Unimpacked. My bowel. My bowel's a mess. So anyway, let me tell you about Cleveland. I can't wait to hear all these TV reports.
Yeah, I want to hear what they have to say. Because I even saw it on the E! Network. They were running all of them.
All of the reports I've read so far are afraid to announce the guy's name who was arrested. I can't get a confirmation of who the guy is. They say an employee of WMMS.
Then they arrested somebody. How come they can't give his name?
So anyway, we're in there, and when we're doing the broadcast, our wire was actually cut. First, our satellite transmission was jammed, but forget that. That you couldn't pin on anyone. The wire that runs from our satellite to our studio there, our little makeshift studio, the wire was cut. And the guy who discovered it was the promotions director of our station in Cleveland. He's walking around outside. He saw the chief engineer from the other radio station walking around in a backstage area. How the chief... they call him the chief engineer. I don't know if he is or not. But this employee from WMMS is walking around there. How this guy got access backstage is beyond me. But there was like no security. That's why I always bring my own security. Because I couldn't believe it. This guy was just walking around. And then supposedly Scott the engineer says that when we got up and left that area, when he came back, all of our equipment was touched.
That's right. I remember Scott screaming about that.
Yeah, so the engineer must have been wreaking havoc all morning.
He was running around doing everything, touching everything.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm the type of guy who goes, I guess I'm a little naive this way. I have never once in my entire radio career tried to sort of sabotage a broadcast of a radio station because, A, it just wouldn't occur to me to do it, and B, I figure if I'm not putting on a good show, well, then I don't deserve any ratings. I suck. And if I suck, how many times can I sabotage another radio station?
How often can you knock them off the air?
Let's say the station in Cleveland had been successful in knocking us off the air for the entire morning. Like,
what would they have gained?
Yeah, I mean, the next day I'm on the air, and you don't get any big ratings from one day. What is it, Baba Booey?
Our general manager just told me what the guy's name was, but more importantly, his title is engineering assistant.
Oh, so he's not the chief.
No, he's not the chief. He's an engineering assistant.
Yeah. That's why I always said I can't get confirmation on whether he's the chief or the engineering assistant or what the guy's name is even.
Now, our guys in Cleveland, I was talking to him last night. They told me that he's already going around bragging. This is all hearsay, of course. Going around bragging, saying that he'll get off on this, and then he'll go on all the TV shows and, become a star.
Oh, boy.
What he did.
Well, supposedly, if the law is correct here, and if the law is enforced in this country anymore, I don't know if it is or isn't, but it's going to be a major embarrassment to the Cleveland Police Department if they arrested this guy. Here we caught him red-handed. We caught the guy not only with his wire clippers, but he made what I heard was a confession. And... yeah.
At one point, somebody said it was on videotape. Was that just a rumor?
I heard it's an amateur videotape of the guy cutting the wires.
But we don't have a confirmation.
I don't have a confirmation. The police told me that on Friday.
Well, how much more evidence do you need?
Yeah, so they have it, and supposedly this is a federal offense. It was set up by the FCC that if you tamper with another radio signal, if you intentionally go over and cut the wire of a radio station, it is punishable up to 10 to 15 years, particularly if you disrupt the broadcast for more than 5 minutes. And we were off for 14 minutes.
Ooh.
So
we're over that limit.
Yeah, it's 10 to 15 years. So this guy's a wise ass. He's a punk. He thinks that, well, hey, you know what it is? I'll tell you his motivation. People say to me, how could this guy be so stupid to do it? I'll tell you exactly how. When it comes to me, people are like, hey, it's Howard Stern. What's the matter? Can't he take a joke? Well, that's no friggin' joke. This is a radio station. People paid money for this license. There are laws in the country. What is this? What a big joke. Everything's a joke.
But it's always inappropriate what, people say, oh, well, Howard does this and Howard does that, so I was just doing something back to Howard.
Yeah, right.
But it's always inappropriate what they do.
Yeah, it's always completely way out of whack.
And it has nothing to do with what's on the air.
Yeah. Now, this guy's an engineer. He's supposed to know the laws of what you do in broadcasting and what you don't. And the guy broke the law. And the police caught him red-handed. And it will be a joke. Justice will be a joke if this guy gets off. And I'm going to tell you something. This guy didn't act alone. If you don't think the management of that radio station in Cleveland didn't know what was going on, what this guy was up to, well, I'll eat my hat. What they got to do is lock this guy up, throw the book at him, and cut a deal with him and let him squeal on who put him up to this.
Yeah, put the pressure on him so he cracks.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. Because if, in fact, the management of that competing radio station, WMMS, knew about this wire cutting incident, they are a public company. Not only should they lose their license, $100 million license, But they are also subject to criminal charges. What is it?
There's the guy's name and position.
Okay. A radio station engineer arrested Friday morning for allegedly disrupting the broadcast of a rival radio station was charged with breaking and entering, disruption of a public service, and possession of criminal tools.
Ooh.
William Alfred, 30, an engineer at radio station WMMS-FM, was released late Friday on $10,000 bond.
That sounds serious.
$10,000 bond sounds serious. Alfred went to a public party hosted by radio shock jock Howard Stern, heard weekday mornings on WNCX-FM. Alfred allegedly cut a main feeder cable used to broadcast Stern's funeral party live via satellite to more than 20 million listeners in 16 cities. Deliberately disrupting a broadcast is a federal offense punishable by 10 years in prison. Then you tack on the other things they charge him with, that's 15. According to officials at the Federal Communications Commission, the government agency that oversees radio and television broadcasting, if WMMS management had anything to do with Alfred's alleged action, the station could lose its broadcasting license. Now, come on. Use your brains. You think this guy acted alone?
A 30-year-old guy with just a, regular job who has to have that job for his livelihood? I don't think so.
Yeah, and not only that, the guy... I can't give out all the evidence I know about. The police asked me not to talk about it. But there's some evidence. Well, I won't even go into it. I'm not even going to say what I know. But I'll tell you this. This guy wouldn't have been so arrogant, hanging around the whole morning, sitting there with wire clippers. He didn't even ditch the wire clippers.
Yeah, shouldn't he be at work?
Yeah, I mean... You tell me where they thought he was. If you were a guy worried about losing your job, would you sit there and hang around our broadcast, or would you be at your radio station working?
I think he was working.
Yeah, he was working. And this is a total mockery if you're going to tell me this guy was acting alone. According to officials at the Federal Community... Okay, so if the management had anything to do with Alfred's alleged action, the station could lose its broadcasting license. I'll guarantee you that everyone at that station knew what was going to be happening that morning. WMMS executives on Friday denied any knowledge of Alfred's alleged actions. The funeral party is a Stern tradition when his show becomes the #1 morning show in the city. The latest Arbitron radio rating, Stern beat rival John Lanigan for the top spot. MMS isn't even in contention. And they're busy cutting wires. And evidently there's a history of wires being cut in Cleveland.
Oh, is this a Cleveland thing?
And this is something Doug tells me that he never was able to prove before. This is the first time they caught these guys.
Well, good. I've never heard of such a thing.
And you throw the book at this guy, and you put him in jail for a couple of years. You let him face some real prison time. I guarantee you he's going to squeal like a pigeon that he is. He's going to squeal. I guarantee you.
Right now, it's still a joke to him.
Yeah, oh yeah. This guy will squeal. You wait and see. Here's another article. Sabotage can't slow down Stern. Of course not. There's idiots. They made the show interesting. It was unbelievable what was going on.
That's what I said. I mean, if you really thought it out, you'd say, hey, look, we don't want to give them any more content. They've got enough. Why should we help them program that show?
New York shock jock Howard Stern came dressed for war but got more of a battle than he expected. Twice during his morning visit to Cleveland yesterday, Stern, bedecked in Army uniform and medals, as the self-described conquering general of morning radio ratings here, was knocked off the air. Officials of WNCX-FM, that's the station that carries us in Cleveland, said their transmission was jammed with a more powerful obscenity-laced signal on the same frequency during a broadcast at the site of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum, where Stern received a plaque and signed a construction girder. Imagine how much energy this radio station put into trying to jam our signal.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine it. They gave us a national story. And the idiots could lose their license over it. $100 million they risked.
That's important.
Yeah.
They risked everything.
Can you imagine how psyched out by me these guys are, these other radio guys? It only goes to prove what I've been saying for the last 10 years. They all suck so bad, they're completely frightened of me. They can't put anything on the radio that's interesting. God forbid they should try and do that. Put together.
It also shows that you're the originator. I mean, if anybody else, Jeff and Flash come to town, or Lanigan come to town, they all do their shows. Nobody tries to knock each other off the air. But you come to town, we've got to stop him.
Yeah, they have to stop me. What did they stop? Well, they stopped me for what? About a minute? 14 minutes, excuse me.
What did they think? They're going to break the radio station?
So I went on the telephone and I broadcast a telephone.
They can't imagine, that you could be that innovative.
Yeah.
You know, the idea of not having a microphone in front of you was supposed to stop you.
At least if they had broadcast their sabotage efforts over their own radio station, it would have been interesting.
But that's the whole point. It had nothing to do with programming on their airwaves.
No. Their station had the same crap they do every morning.
All the time, yes.
Returning to Tiffany's Cabaret in the Flats, where thousands of fans had been gathering since before dawn, Stern's show again was disrupted when a man police identified as a technician for competing radio station WMMS-FM allegedly cut a broadcast equipment cable. The man was taken into police custody and could face felony charges of breaking and entry, disruption of public service, and possession of criminal tools.
Now, do you imagine that they had everything planned, like the jamming of the signal,
yes.
And if that doesn't stop them, if that doesn't throw them off, then when they come back on, cut the wires? You think that's...
I think they basically had a whole bunch of options, and they tried everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that they have like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 all lined up.
WMMS says it had no prior knowledge of the incident.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the program director didn't know about it. The owner of the station didn't know about it. Who owns that station, MMS? Is that I got to find out who's that.
Oh, they were throwing the names around.
They were. My agent said he saw the owner in the bar the night before. I think he said that.
Yeah.
Didn't he?
Yes, and it's sort of odd considering that the owner lives in Los Angeles. Would fly in the night before just to see your funeral.
Yeah, well. And my agent said there wasn't a lot of nervous laughter. So we'll see. We'll find out. I guarantee you, when this engineer faces a good 10 years in jail, if they actually hold him to the letter of the law, he'll give up. He'll give up whether the owner knew about it, I don't know. We'll find out. Or the program director, or one of these upper management types. And if this isn't the chief engineer, how could the chief engineer not know about it?
Yeah, wasn't he looking for his technician?
Yeah, wasn't he a little curious where his guy is? I'm not saying he's guilty, but I would look into it if I was the police. And who owned the wire cutters?
Did anybody call at home to see where this guy was if they didn't know what he was up to?
Yeah. Inside the club, confusion and a twisted sort of elation reigned between shouted questions of, are we on the air, are we off the air? Stern Show member Robin Quivers seemed stunned. She was. I had to console her. They can't compete with us, so they try to knock us off the air. You people take things seriously, she said. Yeah, you know, it is kind of an interesting story. I think the reason it's interesting, too, is, like, look how much effort, like, wasted effort these radio guys put into this stuff. It's like, dude, put some energy into your own programming.
When you get together to talk about your competition, all you can think to do is get them off.
Yeah, I mean, what good is it going to do you?
That's pitiful.
That's because they suck.
You might as well go home.
Hey, Cleveland, you're on the air.
Hey, how you doing, Howard?
Okay.
What a bunch of losers at MMS, huh?
Yeah. Well, they certainly did it this time.
They certainly showed it.
We had a great time, though.
Yeah, wasn't that a good show?
Oh, man, we had a blast. I got there at 5:30 and the place was packed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Associated Press, the guy in Associated Press who covered this whole story, he did like a little paragraph about how, oh, gee, it seems Stern finally got his mouth closed shut for him, you know. And a crowd of about 5,000. There was a crowd of 10,000, as it says in every newspaper.
Huge crowd.
Huge crowd. And it was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, we had a ball. Met a lot of people.
You know what song I couldn't get off my mind out of that whole live show we did?
What?
What's that thing on Aaron Neville's face?
Really?
Yeah, I love that song.
I was humming Soul Man.
Soul Man, yeah. A lot of people liked Roger Clinton, too.
Yeah?
He got booed a little bit, I think, didn't he?
He got booed. It says in the paper he got booed. I didn't hear him getting booed.
It.
I really didn't hear him getting booed. I thought that he actually did a pretty good job.
We were so far away we couldn't even really hear the show. We were just partying.
Didn't they have big monitors set up so you could hear?
No, not really.
Yeah, there were no monitors on set. My father called me.
Well, I don't know where she was, but...
We were far away.
My father called me,
and
he goes, why were you yelling out on that stage? Why are you yelling, misusing your voice? I said, Dad, every time I go and do one of these live shows, we need monitors so we can hear ourselves. I can't even...
You don't know what people are hearing.
You don't know. Every one of us was yelling when you're on stage. And usually I like to have, every time we go through this, I forget to do it. I like to have headphones on the stage.
Yeah.
And I always have it set up that way, but each time I'm supposed to remind Baba Booey and Scott, I guess, that I want headphones on stage.
Well, you know, we had that one set of headphones we were trucking around everywhere, so it would have been kind of hard.
Yeah, it was really weird. The Cleveland radio station was really unprepared for us. We had to make a move where we went from the club that we were broadcasting from into this little bus, this retard bus we had. And we had to get in the bus and make it to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame within 3 minutes in the bus. So all of a sudden we're sitting and waiting. They're transferring the headphones. I said, guys, can't we
brought in a cart machine, and nothing was tacked down. There was a board, a cart machine, headphones, everything was lying all over the place, wires all over the floor, so people kept kicking the wire that put us on the air and knocking us off the air.
Oh, it was so unprofessional. It was unbelievable.
The cart machine almost fell out a window.
Yeah, it was insane in there.
You know, all the millions of times that we've seen Scott frazzled and freaked out and crazed, that was by far the most frazzled and crazed.
I know. It's just too wild.
He's out of his mind.
Too wild.
Jackie was sitting there holding the cart machine so it didn't fall over and hit somebody in the head. And we had to put a bag over the cord that plugged us in so that nobody tripped over it.
Here they describe the day. The day opened with a 6 a.m. news conference where Stern quickly established his credentials, lashing out at Lanigan as a one-eyed cyclops and Cleveland's biggest Howard Stern impersonator. Asking a female TV news producer, are you blonde all over, and whether she was wearing a bra, and noting that it was several minutes into the show, and he hadn't seen a bare breast yet. Someone obliged. Did they? I didn't see that one.
I don't think in that room.
No.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think there was.
There was a bare breast?
Yeah. I think it might have been Amy.
Yeah, Amy Lynn, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Howard, I just like to say underpants.
Underpants.
Thank you.
So, yeah, you came out. It was fun, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, we had a blast. I staked you out in your hotel Thursday night.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, at the Ritz. I saw Fred the Elephant Boy and Nicole Bass and Joey and Mary Jo.
Yeah, I got, it's really funny, too. We did something that we went out to we never even got to play it on the air. We went out to a girl's house. We swam in her pool. We got massages. And I got, 2 girls gave me their phone numbers so I could have sex with them later that night. But I never acted on it.
Oh, you act as if it was just because they were into you.
And they were cute. Who cares why? You know, Robin, you're hung up on why they're into me. I'm into the fact that they're into me.
For any reason.
Yeah, who cares why? I'm not going to analyze it.
These girls can't even see straight.
Yeah.
Wasn't that great having their mothers there?
Yeah. It was weird. We went to this girl's house for, like, this bikini party and massages. And you go in, and, like, there's a bunch of guys standing around, and their moms.
Yeah.
All the girls' moms.
That was weird.
Yeah, so that's why I got kind of uptight and just split. I mean, it was just, like, weird, you know. I'm getting a massage or an erotic massage, and someone's mother is watching.
And then they come over, hi, Howard.
Yeah. Hey, Howard.
I don't mind if my daughter strips.
Yeah. It's all right.
It's a living. Nothing else to do in Cleveland.
And that guy was plenty weird, too, that owned the house.
Well, yeah, he was a nice guy.
But he was having a good time. I mean, he was into the partying of the whole thing.
It's just we think any guy who's hanging around while we're with women is weird.
You didn't want to see a guy.
I mean, he was real hospitable, opening up his house like that. How many guys would do that?
He was even ready with everything. He had these huge rolls of vinyl to put down on the floor for you guys. Don't complain about him.
Yeah.
You ought to hire him.
What was the...
You ought to hire him. He's right. Make him our producer.
Does a better job than Fafa Fooey.
You're not kidding.
True. There was like 20 guys standing over on the side there. Who were they?
That was the girl who makes the bikinis, Chris, I think her name is.
Uh-huh.
That was her dad and some buddies.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, that was her dad. I told you that.
Stand over by the barbecue grill.
Standing off with cameras.
Yeah, over in that corner.
Man, everyone's running around with cameras. I said, no cameras. We're getting massages.
There were more cameras there than at most stores.
Yeah. I was expecting, like, to go over to some girl's apartment or something and, like, get a rub down from, like, 6 or 7 girls. But it was like a whole neighborhood emptied out just to see us in Cleveland.
Yeah. You're a big deal in Cleveland, Howard.
Yeah, no, but, you know, it was just...
It was supposed to be a private party.
Yeah,
it wasn't supposed to be on display.
The girls wanted to give us rub-downs outdoors, and I'm like, whoa, who's all these dudes with cameras?
The one funny thing, though, was the girls had been waiting a long time, so they had a few drinks.
They were all loaded. Well, not all of them, but some of them. A good majority of them.
Yeah, we had a blast, Howard.
Yeah, well, it was interesting to say the least.
Not too many times you can get drunk at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, well, we're coming back to Cleveland.
Oh, good.
For the trial.
Yeah, we like Cleveland.
Are you really?
Yeah, well, if they put this guy on trial, we're coming back for it.
Cool.
Yeah, we like Cleveland. I couldn't believe how many good-looking women there are in Cleveland.
Really?
God, yeah.
They're all blonde and they all strip.
Yeah. At least everyone we met was blonde and strips.
And was a lesbian.
Yeah, and was willing to give me their phone number. I had a
bunch of guys hitting on me. I guess they figure if you're a woman that goes to see Howard Stern, you're pretty loose.
Yeah, that's what they...
I told them I was a lesbian right up front, though, so that...
Oh, you're a lesbian?
Yes, sir.
That's okay. I
I know.
It's more than acceptable.
No, thank you, Howard. My girlfriend says that I'd have your baby if that was possible, but...
I guess it's not.
No.
Are you a hot lesbian?
Oh, very, Howard.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, what do you look like?
You wouldn't like me. I was kidding.
Oh, yeah.
Ask Fred the Elephant Boy. I ran into him.
What, are you kind of butch?
Androgynous.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oofa. I bet your girlfriend's good looking.
Oh, yeah. Hi, sweetie.
Let me speak to your sweetie.
She's driving home right now.
No.
She's listening to you, I'm sure.
What does she do?
She's a firefighter.
I guess she's on her way home getting ready for a good session with you. Nice workout.
Well, I have to go to work, Howard.
Give her good hosing. She's got that hose.
Backdraft.
Yeah.
Backdraft.
Firefighter. And what are you, a construction worker?
You dogging me out, Howard?
Yeah, what are you?
A mailman. Letter carrier.
Mailman.
You're a mailman and she's a firefighter?
We're public servants.
God.
How did you two find each other?
We've known each other a long time.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm glad that
it's
true
very
love...
romantic.
Don't you ache for a man sometimes?
No.
Don't miss
Never.
anything, huh?
Never.
Nothing
What's
missing.
to like about him? You don't like men, do you, Howard?
No, but I mean, for a girl,
you know
man.
where I'm coming from.
Yeah, but you need baloney. You need the baloney.
No.
You need meat.
You need meat.
I don't need meat.
You girls need meat in your diet.
Not this girl.
A woman does not live on fish alone.
Little red meat.
You need something to put your fire out. She's a firefighter.
Yeah, you like that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need a guy to hobble on you.
No.
Get on top of you. Do some magic.
Ugh.
Have you had a man before?
Yes.
It's bad, huh?
Been there, done that. Hated it.
Yeah.
Oh. Maybe it was just the first time. It was bad.
No, Robin. No.
Just wasn't good. Hey.
I'm just not interested.
Sleep with me, you can see how bad it really can be. My wife's heterosexual and she's becoming a lesbian.
I hear you.
All right, very good. Thank you for the call. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Do you really imagine that a woman can satisfy another woman better than you, Howard?
Oh, absolutely. I pay no attention to detail. Although I was giving Amy Lynn a massage, and she told me she was aroused.
She said to me the day we were leaving Cleveland, he really is good, Robin.
Yeah, she was in love. Hey, wasn't she, Jackie? Fred? Billy?
Yep.
She was mesmerized.
I have to agree with you.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I can't vouch for it.
She was really mellow.
Yeah. She wanted me.
She had that look in her eye.
She laid down on the floor. She was ready.
She was like a paralyzed puppy.
She couldn't move.
Scratching her belly.
Yeah. Paralyzed puppy. Yeah, it's like I just injected her with paralyzing drug.
She wouldn't move.
Yeah. So anyway, Cleveland. It was weird. What can I say? I got a whole bunch of TV reports and stuff we can listen to.
Yeah, I want to hear.
Okay, we'll be back right after these words.
We're back with the Howard Stern Show.
I like to mix my food with a boat oar. All right. Excess. Where do I begin? You want to hear some tape reports out of Cleveland? There's so much to talk about. Even our road trip down to Cleveland. We took the airplane, of course, to Cleveland. I think we flew U.S. Air. I don't know what we
Yes,
flew.
we did.
They were very nice about everything. And we were in first class, me, Robin, and my agent. And we managed to get upgrades for Jackie, Fred, and Gary Delabouie. We would have upgraded Billy, except he brings his wife everywhere.
But they weren't even sitting together on the plane.
Yeah, that was weird. Billy West, who is the newest member of our show, insists on bringing his wife on every road trip, I still think he's at the point where he's like sort of newly married.
Everybody was saying it's that honeymoon thing.
Yeah.
They still want to be together.
Yeah. It's pathetic. So we would have had Billy up in first class with us, hanging around and having a goofy good time, but he has to bring his wife. So what do? We couldn't upgrade both of them, and I didn't want to like leave his wife back there without him. So that was a whole discussion what to do about Billy.
But in the end, it would have been all right because they weren't sitting together anyway. They were opposite ends of the plane.
What's with your wife? Doesn't she have anything to do besides follow you on road trips? I mean, you're working.
It got uncomfortable when we were getting massages. She didn't watch that.
Yeah, well, I also heard that you were having a big fight with her. She was like screaming, "Tell me what I'm supposed to do. Tell me what I'm supposed to do." Did you hear about that? There were a lot of witnesses to that one. Yeah. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Who remembers what that was? Where do you want me to go? Robin, what was the story?
I don't want to be running with a bunch of luggage to the bus. Where do you want me?
She didn't mind being on the nut bus.
Right. Yeah, we had a whole bus that was packed with like Kenneth Keith Kallenbach and Captain Jenks and Melrose Larry Green or whoever the hell it was.
Yeah, the wag pack.
Nils.
Nils was on the bus?
And poor Nils Lofgren was on there, too. The nut bus.
I didn't know that.
It's a long way down from the Bruce Springsteen bus to the nut bus.
Nils sitting in the front seat, 5 o'clock in the morning, all by himself with his guitar was the saddest sight I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's a good guy, Nils. Give me the name of all the guys in the band. I didn't get to thank them, and no one really gave me any kind of names to read.
Yeah, we couldn't announce who it was who was playing because we didn't know.
Yeah, it was like really weird. So if you see if you can get like a list of people, I felt kind of bad. Like all these musicians, I would have introduced them to the crowd.
Yeah, we happened to just know Nils, so we could say something.
So I was always introducing Nils to the crowd and no one else. But nobody gives me a list of anybody's name on stage. How did Melrose Larry Green get up on stage?
Let me tell you something, Howard. They gave a pass to everyone in Cleveland. I swear to God.
I know.
We got on the stage.
Mean, how did the chief, well, not the chief, now I don't know what his title is, but how did the guy who cut the wire
get back there?
From a competing radio station, and all of these guys said they recognized this guy, how did they let this guy wander around back there?
The last guy that should have been there.
There's a guy, if you're worried about sabotage. Doug Podell's got a screw loose.
And they said he had a pass. He had one of those things around his neck.
Why would he have a pass?
No idea. I guess they were very easy to get. There were so many people on stage that you couldn't get, like, you'd see like 100 people on stage and you'd see like Joey and Mary Jo in the back. Yeah. Because they couldn't get up and they were...
Yeah, no, I looked around, I saw Melrose Larry Green, which I didn't mind. It was kind of funny. He was up there crying. But, like, he wasn't on the list. How the hell does he... a guy who's an obvious... he's got a bolt loose somewhere. How is he walking up on the stage and just hanging out?
He gets everywhere, though.
It's amazing. I can't get anywhere, yet these guys can get everywhere. How do they do it? I don't get it. And how is it that everyone at our radio station recognizes this engineer? They say, oh, yeah, we saw him all morning long running around in the club.
And nobody said anything to him.
Yeah, why wouldn't you say, excuse me, from a competing radio station, we're worried about sabotage here. Get out. You got to get Doug on the phone. I got to ask him these questions.
Because at the end of the show, when we were, there was no room for David Lee Roth and his band.
No.
They couldn't get up on stage.
David Lee had about 3 inches of space to move around in.
I thought he was going to fall off.
And I had a whole meeting the night before. You were witness, Robin.
Yeah.
I said to Doug, after like some women come out and dance or something, pull them back off the stage. That's what I need you guys doing during this broadcast.
Once you got on that stage, you were free.
Yeah.
Nobody bothered you.
You could do whatever you wanted.
That stage was so crowded, it was interesting to watch the guys that were singing, trying to signal to their bands when to start and stop, because there was no eye contact.
Yeah, nobody could.
Jam session.
It was loaded with people.
It was like a Broadway musical.
I know. I had to fight through about 3 rows of people in order to be seen by the crowd.
Yeah.
Cheerleaders.
There was one time I looked around because I had written a whole opening monologue. I had it on cue cards. I couldn't find them.
Nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be found.
Well, yeah, for a while I could see the cue card people, and then they just disappeared.
Yeah.
They got scared.
And we needed the cue cards because we didn't know what order we were doing anything in. We had figured it out the night before, and I had them write it down for me.
Yeah.
Is that Doug?
Yeah, I was...
Doug.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Hey, I'm about to play all this stuff out of Cleveland and everything.
Right.
Doug's a weird guy, too. He had all the TV reports in Cleveland, but he still got them there in Cleveland. We got him over the phone feed, but...
He doesn't send them.
He doesn't send them FedEx. He's always screaming at me, hey, come on, let's do something local about Cleveland. Here's the biggest story out of Cleveland. He doesn't get me the TV reports.
Doug sits on it.
Doug, you're a lazy guy.
Most of them came down at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, so what? So put them in a package.
When?
Friday night.
Put him in Saturday morning for Monday, right?
No,
you would have got him at 10:30.
No, Saturday for Sunday. They FedEx overnight on Saturday.
You pay a little extra.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Unlimited budget.
Doug is basking in the afterglow of his disaster. Doug, I got to ask you another question. When you got a remote bus that has to make it somewhere in 3 minutes, why wouldn't you just put headphones in the bus? Why would you wait for somebody to switch the headphones? I've been driving myself crazy all weekend.
And if you set up a board in a bus, wouldn't you tape it down?
And here's the big question. What kind of security do you have? All you were screaming about is sabotage and sabotage. People tell me that engineer guy, who you guys all recognize, you let him run around backstage all morning. What were you doing?
He stumped.
Well, they caught him, didn't they?
After he cut wires.
But Doug, why if you see a guy? Why if you see an?
You know what he did, Robin? They did catch him a couple of times. I guess apparently he went off onto a boat and then came up to the back.
A what?
A boat? If you see the guy, why don't you just have someone throw him out?
Well, that's kind of difficult when he hasn't done anything.
Yeah, but he's the engineer from another radio station. He's not allowed to be walking around. Why would he have a backstage laminate?
Well, I don't know how he got that, Howard.
But if you see him walking around with a backstage laminate, why
Take it away.
Well, people don't recognize him. That's why he was able to move around.
I thought people did recognize him.
Well, he was like an assistant or something. I don't think everybody, recognized him. I mean, I don't recognize him. I didn't know him from Adam. I've never...
You don't know Adam? That's another guy you don't know. Doug, you're a wacky guy. Because all night long, Doug is screaming, there's going to be sabotage. I know there's going to be...
And we kept saying, nah, you're crazy.
I was right.
No, we really have, we keep hearing about it.
But Doug, if you were right, you should have at least had somebody standing over the wire.
Well, we did, and, luckily, we were able to get him before he left. But
now, in the paper it says...
People can't keep their eye on that thing every second.
In the paper it says that it's not the... Yeah, no, they can't. It's impossible.
Well,
not the thing that keeps you on the air. You can't watch that.
Well, everybody was watching you.
Yeah, it had to be with me. In the paper, and then like Melrose Larry Green is running around backstage. How does he get a backstage pass?
And what about all the people on stage, Doug?
Never mind that.
Okay.
Well, there were...
Doug's happy they caught the guy who committed sabotage.
There were quite a few friends there, I imagine, from everybody in every aspect. And, who knows what happened in the end.
I like this explanation that they spotted the engineer, they threw him out, but he came back on a boat.
Yeah.
What boat? Doug should be a baloney salesman, you know what I mean?
He parachuted in.
Yeah.
Well, they had those water taxis going back.
Yeah, he parachuted in.
He dug a tunnel.
He dug a tunnel. He dug a tunnel on the ground and got in. Hey, Doug.
Then we threw him out and he hang glided.
Yeah. And then he took invisible pills.
Howard, just keep in mind, if we would have done this at the Convocation Center, none of this would have happened.
Yeah, but the point is...
I told you a long time
Just don't give laminates to the engineers of other radio stations.
Well, I don't think we gave him... I know he had called... As a matter of fact, he had called my boss to try and get one, and everybody kept him away, and everybody kept
why would he
rejecting
do that? Why would he call your boss to get one?
Well, because he used to work with him.
Holy cow.
But we kept rejecting him and throwing him out and getting him tossed out, but he just kept coming back. As a matter of fact, he told somebody, apparently, that, he was going to do this. And
you know what it is? You know what?
But you know what's funny to me? They kept throwing him out, but nobody ever took the pass away.
Yeah.
I like the way he told somebody, but nobody was tipped off.
Right. The point is that this guy was so arrogant because he's thinking, what's the big deal? You can do this kind of stuff. I mean, no brains whatsoever. No thought. It's a big joke. It's no joke.
This is a game.
And the guy hung around after he committed the crime.
Watching.
Yeah.
Wanted to see all the havoc he had caused.
The funny part of the story was the cops came up to him and said... excuse me. After they said, excuse me, you know what he turned to him and said? He said, hey, what are you talking to me for? I didn't cut any wires. This is before anyone knew any wires were cut.
Yeah, nobody said a word. They said, hey, dude, and he said, hey, I didn't cut any wires.
And then I heard he spilled his guts. Now, this guy, they claim in the newspaper, isn't the chief engineer.
That's correct.
He is the assistant.
Right.
Oh, Doug.
So who is the chief engineer?
He was probably back there jamming your signal.
Well, we don't know for sure, but I'm sure the investigation will lead to all the upper management, won't it?
I can't comment.
Where is the investigation now, Doug?
Why can't you comment? And,
Well,
don't you think they're going to question the upper management to see if they knew anything about this? Don't you think it would be a little reasonable to figure out that someone at WMMS authorized this as opposed to him acting on his own?
Well, you know.
I mean, would a guy risk his job acting on his own?
I can't imagine why he would do that, knowing that he used to work for your station. He feels friendly enough with your boss, as you say, to call him for a favor. Why would he want to knock that guy off the air on his own?
Yeah.
So what's the deal now? Do you hear anything new?
No, there wasn't anything on the news last night other than the fact that, he's out on bond and, they're just awaiting to put all the pieces together.
Can we see who posted the bond?
That I don't know. I suppose we could probably find that out.
No hurry.
No hurry.
Yeah, Doug, don't do anything.
I want to know who posted that bond.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't only $1,000. Probably
I thought it was $10,000.
Well, yeah, but it's only 10% or $1,000.
Oh, I see. Well, where does someone get the $1,000 in radio?
Yeah, an engineer.
Yeah.
So I guess we just got to wait and see now what happens.
Doug, you're being so Polish.
Oh, man.
You really... Well, the boat... The guy got on a boat.
He came back on a boat.
Hey, who knows how he got back there?
$1,000, $10,000.
There was a lot of Hey, every time we
Chief engineer, technician.
We taped all the TV reports on Saturday. How am I supposed to get them to you by Monday?
It would have been at 10:30 on Monday.
He told us he was going to do it, but we didn't know he was going to do it.
And we kept throwing him out, but we never took his pass.
Just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, people can't keep their eye on that thing.
I'll tell you one thing. The cops were really pissed. I mean, they were angry. And they also know the eyes of the entire world are on them.
Yeah.
So they took it pretty seriously.
Yeah, they were, because that security team was going up and down trying to, make sure that none of that happened, because I kept telling them something's going to happen.
Good old Doug.
Thank you, Doug.
Well, and you kept telling me, everything's a conspiracy, Doug. Everything's a conspiracy. Do you see why in Cleveland everything's a conspiracy?
Yeah, but Doug, if you know everything's a conspiracy and you know everything is sabotage, take some precaution.
That's why I wanted to do it at CSU, Howard.
Doug, have you been drinking?
No, I just woke up.
All right, okay.
He had like 15 Martys and...
Doug had 30 different satellites that they couldn't jam. Within 2 seconds, they were jamming the satellites.
Well, you know what? And I got to tell you, boy, that satellite company is going to pay, boy. Or somebody's not going to pay. That's what I mean.
The weirdest part was after we weren't sure the satellite was working. It wasn't working. So finally, when we got there that morning, he said, "That's it. What we paid for is working. We're all set." And nothing had happened. And then we got there, and after it happened, he goes, "I told you this was going to happen."
Yeah. Well, I had said all night, if you think that the satellite can be jammed, we don't have to go on the road. We'll just cancel it right now.
Yeah.
And I got calls every 5 minutes. It's working. It's not working. It's working. It's not working. I was going out of my mind. I finally said, guys, make a decision here. That's all I'm asking.
You know what I love when he says, we're 99% sure.
Yeah.
That's always a good one.
Yeah. That means...
little room for error there.
That means they're 99% unsure.
And the best thing that Doug says, I believe.
I believe.
He believes in everything.
Yeah.
Well,
poor Doug was going out of his mind.
Howard, I was told by the people who were shooting for E that the greatest moment of all was when we were off the air and you were screaming at Doug in our little bus while everything was wrong. Are we on? Are we off? What's going on, you moron?
Yeah, give me an answer. Just tell me, are we on the air or off the air? Well, it was fun.
And the best was when we were trying to decide what to do coming back from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame after we had been knocked off the air. They jammed the satellite. We got back on the bus, and we're rolling. And we're having this argument about what to do and how to get on the air. But nobody was talking to the bus driver.
No.
So he could have very well been taking us to the TV station.
He was taking us to the airport to get us out of there. I was a good general. I basically just said, okay, everyone, we're going back to the broadcast site. Because everyone wanted to argue about this. I just said, no arguing. We're going back, and we're broadcasting. Then the wires get cut. But anyway, I would have to think that this guy's in serious hot water.
I guess so. I just can't even believe that it happened, you know, and I'm just going to let it roll and see where it ends.
Okay. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
All right.
What else could you do, Doug?
Hey, admit it, you guys had a great time.
No, it was great. We had a lot of fun. It was a good show.
Yeah.
But
it's hard to believe that you know, and we'll just see what goes on.
All right. Thank you, Doug.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye. Doug's making me nuts.
Amazing.
Well,
oh, boy.
I want to play the reports from the TV. Let me take a break, and we'll do that next.
We're back with the Howard Stern Show.
And Jackie Joke Man. Order Jackie's Wild Comedy CD, $10 plus 3 shipping and handling. Price includes full-color Jokeland catalog. Called 1-800-323-5464. And this Friday, a big Jackie show at the Comedy Cabaret in the Dover, Delaware Sheridan Inn. For information and samples of Jackie's CD, call 516-922-WINE. It's nice that Jackie gives you a sample before you buy. I like that. Very gracious. Okay, you want to hear some news reports?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go.
All right, that's our weather for...
These are all out of Cleveland. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Let me see what we're doing first here. All right, this is a show called The Morning Exchange. This is the program that I actually was on live, and this is all the reports leading up to it and stuff. So here we go.
All right, that's our weather forecast, and we are currently on Howard Stern Watch. And if you note behind me, we have a dozen security guards, and they are here for some reason. I think they're here to protect me, Fred, and Linda, but they are here for Howard Stern's arrival, and they're going to protect me. Okay, back to you in the studio.
So, Mark.
Yeah.
Howard's talking sabotage?
Yes, Howard is saying that his radio opponents from either WMMS or WMJI have interfered with his signal in his little remote radio van as he was on his way here, so he had to go back to his hardwire back at Tiffany's.
Is it alleged that they put epithets, unbroadcastable epithets onto the satellite?
Yes, yes. I didn't want to say that, but it is alleged that somebody was using foul and rotten language during his broadcast and interrupting him.
Yeah.
So,
we have those 7 words which we're not to utter on TV. Under pain of long-term imprisonment. Were those the words that were uttered as far as we know?
Yes, they were. I think one of the words began with
well, you don't need to say.
6th letter of the alphabet?
Yeah.
We can't even say a letter of the alphabet.
Yeah, he won't even say the letter. He'll just count it out for you.
It was the F word. I never actually got to hear it. I don't think it ever got on the air because we have a delay.
Mm-hmm.
But evidently what happened was while we were in the middle of accepting an award from, a real lame award from the Rock and Roll...
Do you have that?
Yeah, I saved it just because it's so goofy. It's like some guy went out to a bowling trophy store and took off the bowling trophy and just gave me the plaque.
In fact, it did. It looked like it was something he had printed up himself. It really isn't from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it was weird. I told Doug I don't want to accept any lame awards. Give me like a real big award. And I don't know. Somehow everything got confused, as usual. But
well, it started out as a big award, and it just kept getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah. So in the middle of me accepting this award, actually throwing a tantrum at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I was cut off, and then the F word was repeated about 4 times, 5 times, I don't know. I didn't hear it. And it was bleeped off the air. So we decided to go back and not go to that TV station. There wasn't much I could do about it. I wanted to go to the TV station live, but couldn't get that to happen. So that's what they were all talking about.
Were you listening? Did you hear any of this, Mark?
I did not hear it, but some of the crew here at Channel 5 said that they did hear some interference and some alleged bad words.
Were those alleged bad words, did they go into all of the markets across America where Howard Stern is broadcast?
We're not sure about that. We do know that it came into the Cleveland market.
I wonder if they're going to try and do a voice print of the voices to see who did it, you know?
Only hard copy or inside edition will know for sure.
Yeah, little did we know, about a half hour later, we'd catch the guys doing it.
It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
Marcus, we'll see you in a little bit.
All right, I'll be here.
Okay.
I felt real bad because I'd given my word I would show up there, but there was just no way.
What could you do?
Yeah.
Your primary goal is to remain on the air.
Yeah.
With Mark and see what's happening outside. Mark, anything new out there?
Okay, gang, I'll see your plain bagel and raise you a poppy seed. Okay, you call? Call. Okay. Well, we're still trying to make the best of a situation out here.
That was humor.
Ooh.
For Howard Stern at the corner of 30th and Euclid. No sign of him just yet, so we're just kind of passing the time away. Okay, show me what you got, guys. I got a queen. This is the best hand I've ever had. Queen, king, ace, and a pair of nines. Okay, beat that. 3 jacks, okay. Oh, boy, full house. What do you got?
I got a pair of 10s.
Woo, pair of 10s. And the cameraman Eric has?
What's going on here?
Hey, it sounds like they're playing cards waiting for you.
Oh. Suddenly, Regis and Kathy Lee are innovators.
Oh, doggone it. Okay, well, the word has it that Howard isn't here on time because his satellite signal, let me demonstrate how this works for you. Satellite signal, which is right here, a little satellite dish, got jammed. Here's the jam. Allegedly by some of his radio competitors here in the market. They kind of, while he was on his mobile radio truck on his way here, they kind of messed with his signal and he couldn't broadcast, so he went back to Tiffany's in the Flats, and we are still working on getting Howard Stern on this Morning Exchange show, and I can pretty much 50% guarantee you that he may be here. Okay, so let's take a look at our weather. 50%. I'm a weatherman.
What is it? Probability of Howard Stern showing up, 50%?
They told me when he said the satellite signal got jammed, he poured some jam on a little satellite.
Oh, did he? That guy's going places. I'm telling you, he's going to end up here in the New York market very soon.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I can do that. I deal with probabilities.
See, the whole shtick was that guy was supposed to meet us outdoors and usher us into the building.
The goofy weatherman was supposed to handle you.
Yeah. We were going to goof with the goofy weather guy. But that never happened. I was looking forward to it, actually. Would have been kind of goofy.
But it's pretty funny that they, because they kept saying to us, the weatherman is going to be watching for you. The weatherman is, and I didn't know what that meant. What is he? They got the weatherman standing at the door?
That's what they did. They had him standing at the door. All right. Well, now they finally get a hold of me via satellite, their own satellite.
I think we can talk to Howard.
Yes.
Are you tuned in down there, Howard?
Yeah, I'm tuned in down here. I can hear you. We're in the middle of pandemonium. We estimate that the crowd outside is about 10 to 12,000 right now. We've just had 2 major incidents. The reason I'm talking on a phone as I talk to you, we've actually had our wires cut, our actual wires that broadcast the show via satellite that go to the truck. Gary, get your hand out of my face. I'm on TV. I got a guy adjusting my...
Baba Booey was putting his hand in front of my face with adjusting my hair.
All of a sudden, he saw an errant hair, and he just had to go get it.
Yeah, while I'm on camera.
He's like one of those animals who sees a fly, and he just has to...
Yeah, has to grab it. Plus, I like when my hair kind of flops in my face. It looks like very rock and roll. And I don't want my hair out of my face. When you got a face like this, you want hair blocking your face. He doesn't understand my look.
He had to go for it.
Yeah. Wolf, there was hair in your face. It's like, hey, dude, I know. What do you think? When Eddie Vedder's up on stage with Pearl Jam, they have a guy come over and get the hair out of his face? You think when Slash is playing the guitar, they have him pull the hair out of his face?
But you don't play guitar.
But Wolf, you was on stage. You was on TV.
Where is your guitar?
Yeah. I had to groom my wolf. Like a monkey.
I'll see your hair.
My wolf needed grooming. Meanwhile, mind you, I'm on the telephone broadcasting to our audience.
It sounds pretty clear.
Yeah. Well, no, you're listening to their feed now. You're listening to the satellite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And he looks mighty handsome.
I'm having a hair problem as well. So anyway, check this out. The satellite that carries our show, we think an engineer from a competing radio station has just been arrested for cutting our line. The police caught him with wire clippers in his hand. Ooh. Has he been arrested?
Ooh.
The chief engineer from another radio station, allegedly. We don't have confirmation yet, but we think, according to police, he has been arrested and is going to be prosecuted for cutting our wires. Now, I understand the last guy who did this was several years ago, and he served at least 3 days in jail.
Well, Howard,
Sabotage.
I understand that somebody told us that somebody was uttering some of those 7 words that you can't say.
Yeah, now here's another thing that happened. We went out to try to come to your television station. As we were broadcasting, they interrupted our satellite feed again and broadcast the F word. I can't say what the word is, but they broadcast a dirty word over the air.
Well, now, Howard, you've done other funerals before. Have you ever had this happen where you've been sabotaged like this before?
No, this proves one thing. The other radio stations in Cleveland are real lame. Anytime you have to sabotage your show and you can't concentrate on what you're doing on the air, that means you're in trouble. The other stations see that they're in trouble. Lanigan sees that he's in trouble. The zoo over at MMS has been destroyed. They were the #1 show when we came to town, and now we're #1. The only thing they can resort to is sabotage.
Well, you're going to love this. Okay, you can use this for weeks on your show back in New York.
Absolutely. If you notice, I am dressed as a general.
Yeah.
And that is because it is D-Day here. It is war.
Nice.
It did feel like we were in a war.
I know. We felt like we were in a bunker under attack.
Robin, now you have the joy of knowing what it was like to be in Vietnam. Now you know. That's the closest it's come for me.
To be under fire.
Since those days when I was out there. When you didn't know what would happen next, where the enemy will lay. You didn't know where they lay.
You have to stay there anyway. Never knowing when the next attack will come.
Right.
Where it's coming from.
Too bad. The only joy you didn't experience was actually chopping off a few fingers and making a necklace out of them.
Oh, boy.
You would love a finger necklace.
Howard, my bunker right now as I speak to you. I'm about to take the stage. If we can get our satellite back up. It is a war. It is World War III out here. We can't take it. It's unbelievable.
In the trenches.
Hey, so what? You guys got any other questions? I got to go back to war.
Well, we thought we'd talk politics, but if you've got to go to war, we'll let you get back.
Yeah, did Irene ever show up?
No, you mean my old
girlfriend?
No, my old girlfriend, my original girlfriend who lives here in Cleveland did not show up and come visit me, but I was consoled by 5 strippers in my room last night. It's okay.
So who needs her?
I want to say hi to Robin.
You want to say hi to Robin?
Hi, Robin. Just wave to her there.
Robin, you want to say hello?
Hi, Robin.
Robin, tell them what's going on.
Robin.
Well, I just heard from the program director that the gentleman was caught in the act, Howard. So we did actually have sabotage from the competing radio station. I think it's pretty sad for Cleveland that they were stuck with this kind of radio for so long. You've finally gotten the taste of some really good radio and some really good entertainment on the radio in the morning in Cleveland, which is what you...
Robin getting some cheers from the crowd as she brings everyone to a rallying point. You know, that was an interesting question about my first girlfriend.
Yeah.
So, Friday night or something, Baba Booey says we got a call saying that it would be okay for me to go out and meet my first girlfriend. And I just said, this is ridiculous.
That woman's got a problem.
Well, with me, obviously. So I just...
it would be okay.
Yeah, and then
Who is she, Queen Elizabeth?
I don't know. I don't know what was going on. I wish she would have done it. It would have been fun to go over and say hi.
What is the big deal?
I don't know. So I just gave up. I give up. But then supposedly she was going to call in during the broadcast, and then I don't know. We were in the middle of
gotten sabotaged too.
We were in the middle of World War III.
Well, she can call in today if she wants.
Yeah, I don't think she's ever calling me.
And everyone else in America deserves.
Well, listen, you guys, we've just been informed. Now I have 2 microphones in front of me. We've just been informed that the satellite has been repaired. We will not go down. This is would you guys quit cutting me off? This is more exciting than anything that ever happened to you in your whole life.
You know, it amazes me. The whole
they gotta
week,
get back.
The whole week they're broadcasting that I'm going to come to their station. They're going to have an exclusive and all this. I finally get on the station, and they're screaming, "Okay, we got to go." Let
me tell you, you could see that they had nothing planned. The guy was sitting there playing cards.
Yeah, they finally get me, and then they're going, "We got to get out of here."
It's true. For God's sake, keep going with it.
This is the news. This is the news.
This is the news. What else has gone on? What'd you find, a few bodies in the river?
Used to be, Howard.
All right, listen, you guys, we got to go back.
Okay.
We're about to hit the stage, and we want to thank Cleveland for having us. This proves once again we are the #1 show. The others try to sabotage while we continue to win. This is more exciting than anything that's ever happened. Thank you.
All right.
Howard.
Okay, Howard. Bye, Robin. We'll ponder what we've just heard when we come back. And maybe you will, too. 578-1000. Call us up. We're going to do a little back talk after a quick break.
Back talk? I'd like to hear that.
Now, what did they have? Did they have any kind of graphic up, or did you just see the 2 anchors sitting there talking to nothing?
No. They had their camera on us.
No. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
You're all confused.
I couldn't see.
Ponder.
We had to ponder what we just heard.
I'll roll it around in my big empty anchor
head.
Let's
all ponder. Ponder what we just heard.
I have to think.
And maybe you will, too.
I have to think about what I just heard.
Ponder, ponder, ponder.
Ponder. Echo, echo, echo.
Ponder.
I'm going to let the thoughts roll around in my big empty head.
See what this one is. Channel 8.
And good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. Here's your first look at what's happening today.
Controversial radio man Howard Stern came to Cleveland, and guess what? Controversy followed. Stern flew in from New York to celebrate a ratings victory in the Cleveland market, but the loud victory party went silent for a while because somebody cut the plug, putting Stern and the gang off the WNCX air. And the accused plug cutter, well, he works for a rival radio station. Howard Stern says the game's over. He now rules the Cleveland radio roost. The celebration in front of a topless club was wild and raucous and raunchy, and silenced by this guy.
We were on the air for 2 minutes. What happened? I don't know. We were just talking to Joey, and we were off the air. I tell you.
TV8 viewer Mike Canals caught the arrest on his home video camera.
Oh, so it was caught.
Ah, wonderful.
Oh, that was the arrest was caught on his home video camera. Someone told me I heard that the wire cutting was actually caught.
On video.
Yeah.
I watched the tape with Mike this afternoon. A broadcast wire was cut. The man, a WMMS employee, was found with wire splicers and a cutting tool.
He made a comment to a person other than a police officer that led us to give further credence to the fact that he was the person that was responsible.
According to people within earshot, the man arrested said, "I did it for myself, not for the radio station." Sources say that may have been captured on a home videotape now in police custody. Reaction? Well, Stern put in a dig at WMMS.
So now they're resorting to cutting the wires and all that, and it just made the broadcast even more intriguing. The fact that, we were sitting there, and these guys are cutting wires. I mean, they're desperate. It's almost like, hey, we can't think of anything to put on the radio that can beat you guys, so maybe if we just cut off the signal, maybe that will help. Maybe that'll do the trick.
I can't believe that just from a human being point of view, that anybody would have that kind of kindergarten mentality.
Yeah, try John Hinckley.
Who was that guy?
Whatever his name was, David Hinckley. I don't know. That's the guy from England.
Yeah, what's he talking about?
Sounded a little like you, actually.
Hello.
Hello there.
I can't believe.
But even everyone kept saying to me, why would this guy do it? I'll say, number one, I believe he did it for his radio station. I believe that people at the radio station knew this was going on.
Unless he's just some religious fanatic.
Yeah, a zealot. I also think that I believe that everyone in upper management, including the ownership, knew about this guy doing it. That's my belief. I don't think a guy acts on his own and risks his job doing that, but that's not provable. Now, I can't prove that.
Is he still working at the radio station?
You know who that was?
Who was that? Who was the British guy?
Jerry Shirley. Not only is he on air at our station, but he is the drummer from Humble Pie.
Oh, cool. Oh. Okay. But anyway.
But is he at work today? I want to know.
What, the engineer?
Yes. If somebody who works for you own a radio station, okay?
Yeah.
Somebody who works for you shows he's such a loose cannon that he would jeopardize your license.
He shouldn't be working.
Would you have him working for you this morning?
If he is working for them this morning, that's a clear indication that management definitely was in on it.
Absolutely.
And now they're afraid. They said, well, we better keep him working because if we fire him, he's going to squeal on us.
What can we do? We got it. I mean, what are we going to do?
I'll tell you what will pressure this guy into talking. If the police is serious and the FCC is serious, they will prosecute this guy, make sure he gets his 15-year sentence. And when this guy sees that he's facing a real, genuine 15-year sentence, he will give up the management of that radio station. And when he does this, that radio station will lose a $100 million license. It's a public company. They will go down in flames. And let me tell you something. They've got to be sweating bullets this morning. They've got to be peeing in their pants over in old Cleveland this morning.
If they've got something to feel guilty about.
I'll guarantee you their radio shows in the morning, their morning show there, that outrageous morning show, they ain't talking about this one bit. Everyone is keeping mouths shut. I got them trained like dogs in Cleveland. I am telling you that they are shaking in their pants. The owner of that station is shaking in his pants. He's in for a real hoot, this guy. I know this guy. He's the guy when you have a meeting with him, he says, I'm like the nicest guy in radio. He tells you 15, 20 times over and over, I'm the nicest guy in radio. I'm the nicest guy in radio.
Then everybody else is really horrible.
Yeah. Any guy who's got to tell you 100 times he's the nicest guy in radio isn't the nicest guy in radio.
He's just not a nice guy.
Right. And I'm going to tell you something. There's a lot of evidence the police have that I can't even talk about, that I am privy to.
You have inside information?
Yep, and so do you. And this radio station is making in their pants because they're not thinking. People say to me, why did they do it? Why did they do it? I say, you know why? Because they're not thinking. They think that this is like a game or something they're playing. They don't even... People forget about laws. They think everybody gets off.
But this isn't even competing. I don't know what was on their mind.
If I owned a radio station and my guys came to me and said, listen, we're going to do some pranks. And this wasn't the only prank they played. They got involved with the audience ripping off copies of a magazine because my picture was on the cover of it.
Yes, they tried to get all the magazines off the stand.
Yeah. And the satellite was also jammed. That's the other thing that I wouldn't doubt that they were involved with. And why they do it is because, people think that nothing's going to happen to them. They think it's like a joke, a goof, because you're doing it to Howard Stern. But if I owned a radio station and I caught wind that my guys are up to this, I would call them all into the office and I'd say the following to them. Within 3 days, all of you will be fired. And I'll tell you why. Not because you're about to do something illegal. That's not the worst of it. What bothers me is I'm paying you a salary, and you can't find a way to get me ratings on my radio station. The only thing you can come up with is cutting off another guy's signal. That's all you seem to be able to do for me.
You've spent tons of time not doing anything that comes out over our airwaves.
Yeah. I'm sitting here, I've lost my entire morning audience, and your solution is to cut off a show for 5 or 10 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever it turned out to be. That's Tanya Harding radio. That's what that is. In other words, you can't beat Nancy Kerrigan, so you're going to hit her in the knee with a pipe. That's what you're telling me? That's what I'm paying you jackasses for?
I told you a couple of years ago that I thought there was a dumbing of America that was happening, and this is proof positive.
No, the show is proof positive. But that is amazing to me. If I was the owner of a station, I would be furious. Not only that you're risking my $100 million license, $100 million that station's worth.
But I'm supposedly paying you good money for your idea.
Yeah, I'm paying you, and the best idea you can do is to take some magazines off the stand. What about putting on a show that challenges the minds of the listeners and gets them laughing in the morning?
It seems to be all you're doing so far is advertising the other radio stations.
Yeah. All they did is spend all morning talking about me.
Yeah.
They've just ensured that my ratings in Cleveland will be huge. Huge.
Whoever tried to hurt Stern actually helped him, giving him more fodder, more attention. The man arrested faces 3 felony charges, one of which carries a maximum 10-year prison term. And this wasn't the only Stern interruption. Somebody, WNCX, suggests a rival radio station jammed Stern's radio frequency, forcing him to broadcast with a cell phone. Whoever did the jamming managed to put obscenities over the airwaves. The FCC's investigated things Stern has done. Now it's investigating things done to him. The federal charges would be in addition to those all faced. Again, nobody's been convicted of anything just yet. Now, we want to make clear here that while Stern and several others are pointing fingers at WMMS, police so far are not.
Yeah. What did WMMS have to say about all of this?
Talk with WMMS operations manager John Gorman about an hour ago. He said he had no idea this would happen and certainly would not authorize any kind of broadcast interruption. One more thing for you. Our Michael Stanley will have an exclusive backstage interview with Howard Stern in just the first few minutes here on First Look.
All right, thank you. The day started bright and early.
I'll tell you something, if it wasn't for me, the FCC would be playing canasta right now. I keep them so busy.
They'd be like that weatherman on the other station, playing cards.
Guys would be flipping burgers. They would have nothing to do. The FCC would have been abolished years ago.
Second job.
Yeah, no, they would throw out the whole FCC. They have nothing to do but be involved in this show. Either they're fining me or they're putting other people in jail for messing with the show. Well,
it's a good thing we keep them employed.
Not only that, if in fact these guys jam the satellite and broadcast obscenities over our airwaves,
then they really should get the book thrown at them.
Yep.
Because that's a definite violation of the FCC rules.
But I never saw a backstage area like I saw in Cleveland. I got to tell you something.
There were more people backstage than out front.
There were. I mean, anyone who wanted to could get back. I mean, there was absolutely zero security. I got a fax here from a guy that says there was a guy at the funeral from the Normal newspaper, NORML, that's for the legalization of marijuana. So you can almost say that that's not even a newspaper. He was standing in front of me taking pictures, and all he had to do to get the pass was write press. I need a pass on a piece of notebook paper. So if you handed the security people a piece of notebook paper that said press on it, they would hand you
a press pass.
A press pass. I saw him up on stage at the end of the show snapping pictures away. Signed Mark in Cleveland. Well, thank you, Mark. Yes, I know, because I turned around on stage. I almost got pushed off the stage by the amount of people on stage with us. By the end of the show, it was like the cover of the Sgt. Pepper's album.
We couldn't find each other.
No.
I don't know if they got this on camera because it was so crowded, but it was so funny because David Lee sang his songs and brought the house down, and everybody was thrilled.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw this.
Yeah.
And he got all done, and he's freaking out. He was in his glory, and he turns around, and who's standing there to hug him and kiss him? Nicole.
No. Yeah, Nicole, the bodybuilder.
That's just the female. That was his reward.
The
She-Hulk. Hug from
Yeah, I know, he freaked out.
You should have seen the look on his face. Like, is this what I get?
Wait a minute, this is from one of my videos.
Yeah, this is a freak show. Well.
Hi, David. What a great show.
Oh, David, I love you.
I love you. David, you really are great. Let me pick you up and kiss you.
It's just me, Dave.
Yeah. All right.
Nicole has a way of saying, she always taps you on the shoulder when she gets near you, and she says, it's just me.
Hi.
It's just me.
We got to take a break. I'll take some phone calls right after these words.
Controversial radio shock jock Howard Stern comes to town, and guess what happens? Controversy follows. Stern's in Cleveland to celebrate his ratings win on WNCX radio, but in the middle of his live broadcast at the victory party, someone pulled the plug. And this evening, the fingers are pointed at a rival radio station.
And news center eigh's Lena Lai joins us now from our 24-hour newsroom with the latest details. Lena?
Denise, Marty, the person accused of sabotaging Stern's show works at rival station WMMS. But we want to make this clear. The station management tells us it had no knowledge the prank would take place. Nevertheless, someone cut the radio lines to Howard Stern's show. And for 2 minutes, Stern's big blowout was nothing but dead air. Howard Stern declares himself king of the Cleveland radio waves. His crowning victory party at the Topless Club sounded like this as it was broadcast live on WNCX.
Hey, did your belly button ring?
It was loud, it was wild, and then suddenly it was quiet.
We were on the air 2 minutes. What happened? I don't know. We were just talking to Joey, and we were off the air. I tell you.
A broadcast wire was cut. In this home video, police quickly surround this man, a WMMS employee, found with wire splicers and a cutting tool.
He made a comment to a person other than a police officer that led us to give further credence to the fact that he was the person that was responsible.
Howard Stern says cheap tricks aren't going to silence him.
So now they're resorting to cutting the wires and all that, and it just made the broadcast even more intriguing. The fact that, we were sitting there, and these guys are cutting wires. I mean, they're desperate. It's almost like, hey, we can't think of anything to put on the radio that can beat you guys, so maybe if we just cut off the signal, maybe that will help. Maybe that'll do the trick.
But the wire cutting wasn't the only prank on Howard Stern today. Someone jammed Stern's radio frequency and broadcast obscenities over the airwaves.
Hey, gee, I wonder
was
who.
Forced to continue his show by cellular phone. WNCX suggests again it was a rival radio station.
I can't believe that just from a human being point of view, that anybody would have that kind of kindergarten mentality.
Well, some say whoever tried to hurt Stern may have helped him instead by bringing more attention to the radio shock jock. In any case, police are treating the pranks very seriously. Sabotaging a broadcast show is a federal crime. If convicted, the man could face up to 10 years in prison.
10 years.
Marty?
Hey, what's 10 years, Robin? He'll be out. He'll be 40. Yeah, he'll be 40. So he'll just miss his entire 30s. Oops. People don't think anymore. They don't think what their actions are going to bring. I love it. I'm glad. I hope they... you know what? We're going back to Cleveland for the trial.
Oh, yes.
Hi, Tom. Our General Manager, Tom Chiasano.
I just want to, speaking of this, I just so you know that we've talked to NCX, and we're either going to participate with them or do it on our own, but we're certainly going to pursue this to the absolute maximum extent allowable by the law.
Good, Tom. Get on.
We're going to go after whoever this guy.
Sounds like you're going to be a busy man, Tom.
I'm glad we finally found something for him to do.
Good. Now maybe he'll get off my ass.
I finally have something to do.
Well, at least you were never a suspect, Tom. You were here in New York.
Only a little while when we couldn't get you on that cellular phone.
Tom sabotages my show every day.
Was that Tom?
Yeah. One time you can't yell at me.
Right. But, the thing is that I don't know what this guy exactly was thinking, but to me, in my mind, there is no way that an engineer doesn't do this with some prodding.
Yes. I have to agree with you.
I can't prove it right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the guy.
You know engineers, Tom. Do they do anything unless you tell them?
Yeah. Think about it. No, seriously, think about it. In my guess, I don't have any proof of this.
Right.
But I bet you once this guy sees it, right now he's thinking, oh, they're not going to do anything to me. At the worst, they're going to slap my hand or something like that. He doesn't realize that it's a federal offense.
Right.
When they really go after this guy, if they really prosecute this guy, what's going to happen is he's going to say, oh, my God, I'm really facing jail time here. He's going to sing like a canary.
I would say if there was a plot, and when it comes to that, absolutely we will.
And I would bet that there's some nervous people over at MMS this morning.
It wouldn't surprise me. It was too bizarre.
Let me tell you something. If you were facing 10 years and a guy says to you, I'll tell you what, son, we're going to let you out of this thing if you give up who told you to do it and who was in on this conspiracy, what would you do?
You assume the guy will do it, absolutely.
You roll over like a homo with amyl nitrate. Right, Robin?
There you go.
Yeah, she knows it. Robin knows. She's been through the mill with me. So that's the point.
Like a flapjack in a frying pan.
That's right.
But it was
you ought to sue for damages. I heard you got so upset you couldn't play golf this weekend.
I missed my tee time.
You missed your tee time.
Did you? Oh.
No, but the point is, this is a federal offense. These guys aren't thinking. I think they think, oh, it's Howard Stern. You can mix it up with him. It'll be a little joke or something.
It's the most bizarre thing I've ever been involved with in my entire life. I can't believe that anybody in broadcast would do this to somebody else in broadcast.
Yeah, because you just know you're not supposed to do it. It's illegal. But these guys...
Even if it wasn't against the law, though. If you believe in competition and fair play.
I agree.
Yeah.
These guys watch baseball, basketball, football all the time. They're always screaming, they don't want the game fixed. They want to really see it. They don't want the referees involved. Yet this is what they do in their personal lives.
Yeah.
They go around trying to knock people off the air.
Well, I think the point, the other points you made is that where's your energy? Is your energy to helping us, or is your energy to hurting them?
Yeah, I know, it's weird.
Put to helping what you're doing, not to try to...
Yeah, why would you even react to the fact that we're coming to town and doing a funeral? Go on and put some kick-ass programming on your station.
Well, but you know what? If you wanted to go out and you wanted to be handing out your flyers, if you wanted to...
Among the crowd or whatever,
exactly, if you wanted to,
they did that.
Promotion and doing... I can see doing all of those kinds of things.
But it's like, you know what? Isn't MMS the same station that was... winning the Rolling Stone poll every year?
Yes.
Rolling Stone has a reader's poll for favorite radio stations. So what they would do is they would clog up all the voting.
Right. Stuff the balance.
And the thing is...
So they've been this way for a long time.
Yeah, but the thing is, what does that really get you?
It doesn't prove that you're the best station or that you have more listener loyalty.
Yeah, but also, why would you put so much effort into
stupid junk like that?
Why would you put effort into becoming the Rolling Stone best radio station? That doesn't win you any listeners.
And when you do it that way, does it mean anything? You can't say, look, we just won.
No, if it won you some listeners, it'd be fine to do it that way. But it doesn't.
No.
It just doesn't even... It's like a wasted effort. But I don't know. I have a sneaking suspicion here that more people were involved than just this one engineer.
No.
You can't tell me, come on.
Sounds like a case for Sherlock Holmes.
Listen.
You don't need Sherlock for this one.
Did Hitler kill Jews? I guarantee someone else at that station knew about this. What is it?
I also just found out that, the company owns 8 stations.
Right.
And it puts not just this one, but all of their licenses in jeopardy, and they have a sale pending in Atlanta. And, this could be trouble for them.
Well, absolutely. You can't have a license in broadcasting when you do things like that.
Yeah.
Fire sale. Yeah.
Fire sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also got a call on Friday from a guy who said he taped this guy talking to the police.
Yeah.
And who's supposedly, I promised him all sorts of stuff if he would do it, sending the tape here today.
Good, great. I'd love to see that tape.
Maybe that's the videotape you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I think so. Well, supposedly there's a tape of the guy actually cutting the wire, which is kind of interesting. But he evidently confessed already. He said he did it.
I also have to pay you a great compliment.
Thank you.
As we're sitting back here trying to scramble as to what to do, and we started to play the tape of the massage that you had.
Yes.
And you thought to get on the cellular phone. I didn't know what you had in the truck, but that was great.
Yeah, well, actually, Scott, the engineer, said, hey, I can broadcast over this cellular phone. I said, let's do it.
Scott.
Yeah, Scott did a good job. And he thought quick. And I said, interrupt whatever they're doing back in New York and let's get with this.
Yeah, while Scott was holding the equipment up, he thought to get on the phone.
You had to see it. What a mess the whole thing was.
Yeah, Scott was describing some of it to me.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. It was pretty wild, but
it was a great broadcast. It was unbelievable.
It was unreal.
It was the most compelling radio I think I've ever been involved with.
And that's why you can't even understand. Right. I mean, these guys don't understand what we're about. If they throw something like that at me, it only gets me more hopped up and more into the show.
Only makes the show better. Only gives more energy.
Yeah, they can't screw me.
Well, see, if you can think on your feet, you don't have to worry about things like that. These people are people who sit in a room and after several hours of trying to think of something to do on the radio, they come up with that poor crap they do.
Well, they probably spent more time thinking about this stunt than they did anything they do on the air.
But what I'm saying is that if something came along and interrupted their broadcast,
they'd be flustered.
They wouldn't know what to do next.
What is it, Scott?
No, I just want to say it was one of the roughest trips we've ever done. On my end, anyway.
Oh, you're so silly. What happened when we came back? And
Scott, you were there for 2 days. You made it rough for yourself.
No. We had a lot of trouble getting the satellite up, working correctly.
I heard all about your trouble.
As you know.
Do you work on the satellite personally?
Yeah, I was there on Thursday.
Scott,
you know what it is? We gave Scott a compliment, so he came running in expecting to be complimented more, and now it's just all backfiring on him.
Never works.
It never works. It never works with
you. I should know better by now.
You got a compliment.
You tried to milk more out of it.
Everyone said you did a good job.
Thank you.
And then all of a sudden, 2 seconds later...
Don't make it more valuable.
2 seconds later, you're in here, you're looking for more compliments. You go fishing.
Okay.
See, we didn't compliment him enough. He wants us to know just how difficult it was.
Well, let me say, great work, Scott.
Oh, thank you very much.
Good thinking on the cellular phone.
Yeah, there you go, Scott.
That was terrific.
All right.
Are you happy now?
No.
Want more compliments?
No more money. Good thinking. That's what we pay you for.
Right. Yeah, you're getting paid to think, and this is the first time you did it. So there you go.
Finally.
Yeah, it's about time you earned some money.
All right.
That investment paid off, Tom.
Right. Told you, keep funneling money Scott's way, it'll pay off. Keep feeding the guy.
You had to see the look on Scott's face when the broadcast went out. Nobody knew the wires had been cut yet, and he didn't know whether to tell you or not. Like, he was freaked out because he was sure it was something he did wrong.
Yeah, I don't know why it took 2 minutes for everyone to tell me that I was off the air.
Well, part of the problem was just seeing what was going on here. Scott didn't have anybody there who was able to help him communicate.
Yeah.
So he's sitting there trying to run the board, trying to deal with us.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts. I got to admit, I would have had a nervous breakdown if I was Scott. What is it, Baba Bohai?
Now, let me ask you a question. When you were in the middle of getting your award from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I found out you were off the air, and I was trying to get to you, and Doug kept holding me back, going, don't tell him. And I said, you got to tell him.
Doug is the biggest screwball.
Don't ever listen to Doug.
It'll only upset him.
You're off the air.
And I said, he's off the air. He's doing nothing.
Yeah. No one can hear what you're saying, but don't tell you.
Doug is a weird guy. Doug, like, why am I wasting my time?
He's going, shh.
Don't tell him.
What? I think there must be something in the water in Cleveland that makes everybody have a sort of cockeyed view.
Doug has more hair than brains, and he's bald. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Don't tell him. You're up there flapping your gums for nothing.
Was he trying to keep you from telling me?
Yes.
Oh, that's insane.
He goes, don't tell him. I think he was afraid that you would blow up in front of the people from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I think he was...
I wasn't blowing up.
Image with them.
I wasn't blowing up already at that lame award they gave.
Right, he was already blowing up.
Yeah. You should have seen this plaque they gave me. It was the size of a doorbell.
You threw it in the lake?
Yeah.
That's great.
Tom, even you would have found this award.
You would have found it offensive.
The guy that made it was ashamed of it.
Yeah, the guy who had it locked it in his trunk.
He hid it.
They didn't want me to see it. What were they thinking?
But you signed the girder?
Yeah, I signed a girder.
Do you think that's really going to be an exposed piece of metal?
Who cares? They have you sign everything. My name is all over Cleveland. Some plaque. I've gotten better gifts from Jackie the Joke Man.
Yeah, and his gifts are terrible.
His gifts are awful. He gives you a blue nightlight for a girl.
Oh, the best was, no, wait a minute. That picture he gave you, the holograph of oysters.
Yeah.
Certainly you're forgetting the child-sized sweater.
Yeah.
Acrylic sweater.
His wife went out and bought me a sweater for my birthday. It was for a 9-year-old.
Yes, you bought it in the children's department.
Yeah. Enjoy. Compliments of the Martlings. Thanks. It was from the A&S Boys Department.
Yeah.
I went to exchange it.
You're animals. You're in the wrong department, sir.
Yeah. No. This is little boys' department. I said, did his wife even put an ounce of effort into this? But it was a weird broadcast, wasn't it?
We got to get you a new sign, Fred.
Yeah, put down that spot sign.
No.
Hey, what are you doing about your precious Rangers, huh? Looks like they're going to choke.
Do tonight?
Tomorrow
Is it tomorrow night?
I haven't lost faith.
Looks like the New York Rangers are going to choke again.
Nah.
How can they do this?
I thought the game was Wednesday night.
That's Tuesday.
No, Tuesday night.
Ratto was explaining to me how the longer this goes on, the more time there is, it benefits the Rangers because the more pressure there is, the Rangers will win because they have the more experienced team.
Yeah, keep dreaming.
Oh, so both teams are under
I'm not
such
sure.
intense
I'm
pressure.
a serious Ranger fan. I'm not sure I buy that theory, but I also think they're going to win.
I was walking around yesterday, and this guy comes up to me and he goes, hey, how about these guys who are praying to statues for the Rangers? So I go, yeah, what a bunch of idiots. There was a guy in the newspaper
praying to statues?
praying to like a mock-up of the what is the award you get? The Stanley Cup.
They're praying to the Stanley Cup?
Yeah. Yeah, a fake Stanley Cup so that the Rangers will win. Like, people who are Rangers fans are really into this. The Rangers haven't won since, like, 1939.
1954.
Whatever.
1940.
40?
Yeah, 1940.
Because whenever you see a Ranger fan, if they give you any grief about anything, you just go 1940 and they shut up.
So I'm talking to this guy, and I go, yeah, what a bunch of goofballs. And he goes, well, are you going to pray for the Rangers? I go, what? He was asking me to pray for the Rangers.
I'm serious about it. No, I haven't prayed.
And there are guys going to church and praying to statues and stuff.
No novenas.
I wonder what it means to them, this win.
Oh, it would be the biggest win of their life.
I think they get a big bonus.
No. I'm talking about fans.
Oh, absolutely. The biggest thing that would ever happen to a Ranger fan would be the Rangers tomorrow night.
And the most painful thing that would ever happen would be a loss.
I disagree. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
A Game 7 loss would be worse than not getting in the playoffs.
Meanwhile, I think everyone is convinced now that the Knicks will lose, right?
No.
Really? You're not?
No.
You want to increase your bet?
No.
No?
He's not that confident.
But I'm not convinced. I mean, they won on Friday night. They won on the road.
I was wondering, after watching all of this weekend play, they played really well on Friday, and then they come back to New York, and it's like they forget how to play again.
As usual, they were erratic. They had the best and worst third quarter.
Can I just say something? They won one game, but the Houston team is so strong that it seems to me, now I'm just an amateur when I watch these games, it seems to me that Houston doesn't have to put as much effort into their wins as the Knicks do. The Knicks have to go all the way balls to the wall.
I don't want to insult you in any way, but wouldn't it help if you watched the fourth quarter?
No. Excuse me, Gary, excuse me.
Yeah.
That is an insult because you assume that, first of all, I can't stay up and watch the whole game because I have to go to bed. Unlike you who can stay up all night because whether you have a voice the next morning doesn't matter.
I'm not saying whether you can or not.
Fourth quarter, first quarter, second, third quarter, any quarter, and by reading accounts of the newspaper and watching highlights of the games, I feel that I am qualified enough to look at 5 black men who put balls through a hoop and tell you that one team has more motivation than the other. One team has an easier time of moving around and moving the ball around.
Then why didn't Houston win on Friday night? If it was
maybe a little bit, because it was so easy the first time that it was almost a bit of a letdown, but they're not going to let it happen again.
I understand what you're saying. It looks like the Knicks are struggling constantly.
Even during a win.
But that's always been, but that's how they've won all year. It hasn't been easy.
That is not true. That is not true.
In the playoffs, it's been true.
Yeah, against Chicago. You know what, Gary? You don't know anything about sports because every time we make bets, I end up winning them.
No, that is the biggest line.
So increase your bet. Increase your bet. Increase your bet.
Let me tell you something.
Increase your bet.
U.S. Open Stores. Remember that $1,000 bet?
Yeah, and who beats you every time I play you?
Yeah, for nothing. You beat me for free in your backyard.
Yeah, but do I beat you? Who is a better tennis player?
What good does that do you? Who owns a tennis court?
What is
I haven't played tennis since I was 12.
neither have I.
You own a tennis court.
Yeah, but so what? I don't play.
What do you mean you don't play?
I don't play. I played with you. That's it.
You once again, you fib. You play your father-in-law.
I do. What, once a year?
And you play against your wife and a friend.
I do not. I hadn't played since I played you, since U.S. Open Source. And what does U.S. Open Source have to do with actual professional play?
Aside from the Dallas Super Bowl.
Dallas Super Bowl is another one.
Name one bet
for all the sports that you watch. I win every bet.
That's a lie.
You lose every time.
That's not true.
It is true.
Howard,
name one you won.
Howard, I have so much money from you.
You do
that
not.
I was ashamed
not from
to take
sports
it.
bets.
Yes, from sports bets.
And let me say
what
something.
What else did we bet on?
If I was the mental midget that you are and watched as much sports and read the Newsday sports section consistently during my job, I would know a lot more about sports, and I would be able to win bets.
So
you lose.
You're making fun
Increase
of me.
your bet.
You're making fun of me for being
more money do we bet?
informed about something that you wish you were
Let's double the bet.
about.
Let's double the bet.
I don't want to.
How much did you bet me?
$200.
So double it to $400.
I don't
big
want
shot.
It has nothing to do with a big shot. It has to do with pay me more.
Come on, you said they're
going to
win.
The bet.
Did you say they're going to win?
I think they're going to win.
All right, so let's bet $400.
I don't have that kind of money to play
$500. You got Robin. She's your bankroll. You haven't bet anything yet.
Anyway. Right, but Robin.
So come on, bet me. Bet me now.
I'm not telling you not. Go
Bet me now, Fafa Fooey.
No.
Go.
Come on, Fafa Fooey. I need more of your money.
It's not my money. It's Robin's
money. You know so much about sports.
Go for it.
I don't watch the fourth quarter. I don't know anything.
This is Robin's money.
Go for it.
No, don't tell me go for it. Say, Gary, I backed this bet with my money.
I backed this bet with my money.
I don't mind. Go ahead.
You're on for $500.
$500 you are on.
All
right, there you go. $500 of Robin's money down the tube. And let me remind you, Gary, you know Robin's a welcher. I made the bet with you. I don't care where your financing comes from. You owe me $500.
Let me tell you something right now.
Yeah.
If Robin doesn't pay this bet, I'll go to a house and rip that Muhammad Ali painting off the wall and pay you with that.
I don't want that. That's worthless.
Well, we'll pawn it.
That seems to be worthwhile to her. I'm not a Muhammad Ali fan. Big deal. A guy who can punch another guy in the face, and that's nothing. You are going to lose that $500 for all your sports knowledge and all your fourth quarters and going to hockey games and going to basketball games. You're going to lose the bet.
That is I could lose the bet, but you still don't know anything about basketball.
You know what? You have never learned a thing. There's something to know about basketball. You watch 5 black guys run up and down the court putting a ball through hoops. I need to watch for years in order to develop some sort of accuracy in my predictions. See, I'm so smart, I could watch one game and tell you who's the better team.
This is a perfect
I could watch 5 minutes
of why Gary's a fan and will watch forever and ever, because he's never going to know the outcome.
No, he'll never be able to
get it.
What is a fan?
He watches and the drool comes down his face as he watches. You know what?
A fan is somebody who likes a team.
You know what?
He is surprised every minute.
By increasing this bet, I realize you've learned nothing, and I want you to repeat after me because I'm going to teach you now. Here we go.
Wait a second. Hold on. Wait a second.
Repeat after me.
Wait, I want to throw something else in the bet then. Okay, this is big. In the bet, should the Knicks lose, I will repeat anything you write. However,
no. The bet is for $500.
How about you repeat?
Oh, fine. Absolutely. Absolutely, you're on.
Okay, so if the Knicks win, you have to repeat something I write.
That's right.
All right.
Absolutely.
This is interesting.
Gary, you will never be able to predict sports because you are surprised by everything. Gary is surprised every time the toast pops up. Every morning he's like, Wolf, it did it again.
Yeah? You never know.
You have never learned. Now repeat the following.
Oh, get ready to learn it yourself.
When I talk, I am guessing. My wolf doesn't need to watch anything. To know everything. My wolf knows the talents. Of monstrous, big, huge black guys. Who play stupid games. I will not open my mouth in front of my wolf. Unless my teeth force it open by accident. All right, good. Now you've learned the lesson. All right, I got to take a break. We'll be back right after these words.
The Howard Stern Show.
Listen, in the middle of everything that we're discussing, Mark Harris, who was married to Martha Ray, showed up.
Oh, he did? We weren't expecting him?
Well, I told Gary no guests on Mondays, but he insists that...
Mark is a special case.
He says you don't pass up a Mark Harris appearance.
If you only have one day with him, and that's the only day.
We always catch him on a layover, don't we?
Yeah, where is he traveling to?
He's been to Germany. He called us from Germany and France. He's been performing.
Yeah.
And he says that we have to announce that he's running late because everyone in L.A., Vegas, and Washington are waiting to hear his appearance today.
Oh, everyone. Does he realize nobody knows that he exists?
What world does he exist in? Everyone is waiting.
He's a pisser.
You saw those pictures of his big performance in Los Angeles.
Yeah, well, we'll talk to him about it in a second. I just got to go on record as saying one thing before Mark gets in here. Anyone who was on the Long Island Expressway on Saturday, I had to come into the city because I was cutting the open to our new E! Entertainment television show.
And you haven't told us how that went. And what was your meeting like?
What meeting?
You had a meeting with all the... what was it called? Some kind of a program meeting?
Production meeting?
No, I put a halt to that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. There was no need for that. The whole TV show is set up so that I don't have to do anything. All I got to do is sit here and talk. After that, I could leave. Why I'm going to be in a production meeting makes no sense. I think Franchise is in love with me.
Well, you said that you were going to go do it just so you could prove to them that there was nothing to be done.
Nobody wanted any proof. There was no production meeting. So, they were going to call a whole big meeting. They were going to have me do interviews with newspapers. Meanwhile, I didn't get out of there till late. I was due at 9 a.m. To cut the open to the E! show. I left my house at exactly 8 a.m. I figured an hour on a Saturday morning in Manhattan, no problem.
That's reasonable.
In fact, I figured I'll be there by 8:25, and I'll have some time to
wait around and have breakfast.
Yeah, but I even called Ralph and I said, be there to do my hair and my makeup because I'm probably going to be there at 8:25. So get there by 8:30 so I don't have to sit around and wait. I leave my house at 8 a.m., driving along the Long Island Expressway. They decide to do construction. Now, not only on a Saturday afternoon, when you think you can get a break in life, they do construction going into the tunnel. The entrance to the Midtown Tunnel is completely cut off, and they've only opened up one lane on the other side of the tunnel that's usually reserved for traffic the other way.
Oh, dear, so you got to go all the way over there.
So at 9:15, I still haven't made it through the tunnel. 9:15. And I'm sitting here.
Huge backup.
And then I find out that even the entrance into the 59th Street Bridge was closed off. And where's Ronnie? Hey, Ronnie, call in.
That's wild. So they had closed two major thoroughfares.
Listen, you got to hear this. I said, if I haven't picked up votes, I know I haven't been talking about running for governor a lot, but I am telling you, this is going to stop the next day that I'm in office. It's a joke. Maybe that's Ronnie calling in. I'm trying to get him on the phone. He knows every entrance that was closed off. So listen to this. So this is a Saturday morning. I get to this shoot about 9:40, 9:45.
After leaving your house at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, so let's call it a 2-hour trip into the city. Oh, here he is. Hey, Ronnie.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm talking about Saturday now. So 2 hours.
Nightmare.
Yeah. Okay. Not only was the Midtown Tunnel cut off, but what else was cut off?
Okay. Everybody saw that the Midtown Tunnel was messed up, so then they all started cutting over to the 59th Street Bridge.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That was a total dead standstill from Van Dam Street all the way to the bridge.
Wow.
Now, this is Saturday morning at 8 o'clock.
The Triborough Bridge, they had 2 lanes shut down going inbound towards the city.
Yeah, because everyone says to me, why didn't you take the Triborough Bridge? I go, we couldn't. I said, it is a joke. People's lives are made miserable and nobody cares. There isn't a politician in New York State that gives a crap that people are suffering in this manner. I'm talking about a dead standstill. It is an absolute joke. How could someone not vote for me? If I'm going to go into office and demand that all road construction be done at night, how could you not vote for me?
What about coming home, what they did?
Okay, so then we decide to leave.
What time are you leaving now?
It was about, I guess, 3... No, it was about 10 minutes to 3.
10 minutes to 3, I get done. I rush my brains out. I want to get done because, I want to get home. We cut the open to the TV show. It's going to look really cool, I think. They were shooting on film, so they ended up shooting way too long anyway. But I tell you something, when I make my movie, I'm going to go insane. I can see that.
Yeah, film is tough.
Wow. Every time you do a take, it's a 30-second take. You'd have to wait 15 minutes for the next setup.
Mm-hmm. Actually went pretty quick compared to the last time.
Yeah, they moved me in and out pretty quick. It was kind of cool, too. They were blowing up radios and really cool stuff.
They did all that stuff after you left.
Yeah, I know, but they did a whole bunch of pyrotechnics and all kinds of stuff. They had a bunch of really brainy dudes standing around there doing this stuff.
Who are these guys?
I don't know the name of the company. I'll find out, though. But they were pretty cool. As a matter of fact, like you're sitting there, doing it. It was me behind a console, kind of like ranting and raving and stuff. So and talking. Mm-hmm. But like you're looking at the crew, and all of them like don't even look happy to be there. And I'm going,
they're working.
I'm going, well, gee, they don't look like they're fans. They must hate me or something. Then afterwards, everyone came up and had me sign stuff.
Yeah, they all thought you were pretty cool. But
but it was like it was weird. I couldn't tell while I was taping that people were fans. It was like sort of a weird vibe.
People don't understand that when you're doing your thing, and they're pretending they're doing something, it doesn't help you do your thing.
It bums me out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they said they were trying to be professional with you and all that nonsense.
Yeah, they were.
I figured they'll ask you later on to sign the books.
Yeah, that's a weird thing, too. People are real professional, and then as I'm ready to leave, I finally put in a full day, everyone comes out with their book. Mm-hmm. I go, hey, I was sitting around here all day doing nothing.
Yeah, in those breaks, you could have done that.
I could have signed everything.
That's what I said to one guy. He comes over and he says, listen, I want to get my book signed, but how do I go about doing it? I said, well, don't wait till he's leaving because you can forget about it.
Yeah, because I want to leave. At that point, I've been sitting here all day doing nothing.
So I says, what is he doing now? He says, well, he's taking a break for about 10 minutes. I says, well, now's the time to do it if you're going to do it. Otherwise forget about it.
Ronnie's an advisor.
He tells people when to interrupt you.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Well, it's better than when you're walking out the door.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm saying you give the right information. It's just interesting that that's your job.
It's an interesting job description. Hey, so then Gary's telling me on Sunday he decides to go out to Long Island. And
wait, finish Saturday, though.
Okay, so we're coming home Saturday, 3 o'clock.
10 to 3, we're on the west side, so we figured, now the tunnel's all messed up. The Triborough Bridge is all messed up. The 59th Street Bridge, everybody's running to that. So now we figure, well, we'll go up the west side and cut around through the Bronx and, that way, so you don't have to go through the city, basically.
Listen to this.
So we're going up the West Side Highway, no problem, zooming up there. We get up by 158th Street, and it comes to a dead standstill.
Dead standstill. They're taking everyone and rerouting them off the road into Harlem. But I mean the deepest, darkest part of the Black Congo there is. Let me tell you something. I am watching. Now listen to this. You talk about scary. Where were we exactly, Ronnie?
When that guy went over to the lady?
Yeah. What street was that?
We were on 178th Street and Broadway.
Now listen to this.
I've never been.
Now listen to this, Robin.
Yeah.
They take you off the road.
178th.
They put women alone in their cars on 178th Street. Now the cars are at a dead standstill. There are squeegee guys. And I got nothing against big black guys, but these were all big black guys, squeegee guys, who were ranting and raving, seemed to be on crack. Yelling at the women in their cars and banging on their windshields.
And there's no police to be seen.
No, there's only
brownie traffic cops who are sitting there laughing at everyone.
They are those guys.
Yeah, they are. They're those guys in a brown uniform.
Exactly.
Yep.
What a joke, boy.
2 weeks ago, they were in the street panhandling, and now they're brownies. So you think that you're in deep Africa. I put a mosquito net over my head because I couldn't believe where I was. And these guys are pounding on these women who are alone.
Are you making this up? Were they really hostile?
No, Robin, it was true.
I said, and the nerve, I said, how could people not vote for me for governor? How could people?
You haven't said anything about squeegee guys.
Oh, my God. Squeegee guys. There's not going to be any road construction. The only reason these squeegee guys were having fun with the white people, regular black people, was smack them in the head.
Yeah, but tell them the best part. When we got up to where they were doing the construction, okay?
Yeah, listen to this.
They had the entrance blocked off to the highway with a truck. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there was nobody there.
Nobody doing anything.
Nobody doing anything.
What time did we get home?
We got home, it was almost 4:30.
Yeah, another hour and a half. And what should have been a 20-minute trip.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
Well, it's everywhere because I was trying to get around in Manhattan on Saturday afternoon, and you go down the FDR Drive. I was trying to get all the way to the financial district from the Upper East Side.
Robin doing well. Financial district. What were you doing, depositing all that Quivers money?
Financial district.
Ooh.
On a weekend.
Fancy.
You can't get down the FDR Drive.
Never mind
because they go down to one lane, and all of a sudden you just stop.
When I am governor, if I know I am going to win the governor's race because people are sick and tired. I know I'm 7% in the polls right now, which is nothing to sneeze at.
And dropping.
But I'm going to tell you something. You'll see 2 days before if I don't get people riled up.
All right.
Oh, he's going to win. You know why he's going to win? Because everybody's fed up with this construction.
And let me tell you something, Ronnie.
Anybody who drives a car or a truck or a cab or...
I am ready to make my 4th campaign promise.
Which is?
I'm adding to it. When I am governor, give me a drum roll. Wait till you hear this one. If this doesn't win everyone over, I realize I got to get myself up in the polls.
Because there's a problem for me, too, you know.
I think this will solve it, Robin.
All right.
When I am governor, only white people will be allowed to buy squeegees.
Hey!
Now, this will solve the whole squeegee problem.
Stop that.
You ain't good, guys, people.
Let me tell you something, young man.
Thank you.
If I want a squeegee, I'm going to get it.
That's what you think. You'll have to have a special license to carry a squeegee. Yeah,
no,
go ahead.
Could you say something, Governor-elect?
Yes.
To the problem of getting to an automatic teller machine.
Right. All right, hold on. Let me just tell you about traffic. 1 second. Let me just finish this first. Because I got to get Mark Harrison in. Yeah, I know. Robin always bragging about how much money she has.
No.
She's at that automatic teller machine every minute.
I've got to tell you.
No, hold on. I want to tell you something.
Squeegee guys are. You go to an automatic teller machine, and there's always a guy standing there at the door.
Doorman.
With a cup, with a Wendy's cup.
Right.
And as you now stand there looking for your bank card, he's standing there looking over your shoulder.
Right.
And then once you get the bank card and it buzzes you, he opens the door for you.
Right, and you're supposed to tip him.
You walk in, you go do your thing, and when you come out, if you don't tip this guy, you may have to have words with him.
Absolutely.
You want the answer?
What?
You are in a state of war. You don't know it yet.
Oh, I know.
You are in combat.
Yeah.
That's why I had you wear an army uniform, because you better get used to it. In about 2 or 3 years, there's going to be a war.
Yes.
And one day, everyone's going to wake up to the problem that's going on here. We have segments of our society that are out of control. Out of control, they behave irresponsibly. Now, whether the white man is at fault or this one's at fault, maybe the Puerto Rican man's at fault.
Do you know what the man said to me when I walked out?
What did he say?
He opened the door for me again, thank you very much.
Yes.
After I have to push on it to release the lock.
Yeah.
He opens the door again, and I walk out, and I said, thank you, and I kept walking. He said, you could say thank you.
Yeah.
And I said, I did say thank you. Oh, you did?
I would have said nice cans.
And you know, Howard, now over at Penn Station and Port Authority in Grand Central.
Let me tell you what I would do. I would put a wall around Harlem. There would be a wall.
No. These people live in my neighborhood.
Yeah, they do?
Because they put homeless shelters everywhere.
I would remove those, put them all in Harlem, and put a wall around them.
Why should the nice people of Harlem have to be trapped inside?
Well, you know what?
You want to deal with them?
People.
All right, then fine.
You go up to 178th Street and you see how nice it is.
Yeah, can I talk to you about that a
No,
second?
believe me, Ronnie, there's one woman there who doesn't deserve to have to live with the rest
Tell her
of
to
the
move.
people.
What is it?
You know, talking about the traffic yesterday, when I was trying to plot all the different courses to come back because of the Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Now, here's the kicker. On Sunday, they decide to have something called, this is the biggest problem New York has. Bigger than crime. The Puerto Rican Day Parade. They do this on a Sunday.
It's legal littering.
And let me tell you the pigsty that this city was left in. Not only was traffic blocked up, how long did it take you to get through?
Okay, it took me an hour and 50 minutes after you battle the LIE.
Right.
And then after you figure out the problem.
Because politicians don't care about you, Baba Booey.
I know.
Excuse me, Baba Booey, where did they hide the parade this year? I didn't notice it.
Well, you lucked out.
Here's what happens. So you come in on the LIE and you got to figure out what are you going to do.
Right.
I see that the tunnel's all backed up.
Right.
And then you can't go over the Triborough. You know why you can't go over the Triborough? Because the parade ends uptown.
Oh.
So you go to the Triborough and you come down the FDR. If you try to cross, the only place you can cross is at 125th Street.
Right.
So then I have to drive with my pregnant wife down 125th Street while people are selling like Malcolm X rugs.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah, and let's face it.
What are you saying?
There's a lot of open hostility. What are you saying? You know what he's saying. That's a buzzword. Malcolm X rug means trouble.
There's Muslims burning incense and selling the best of Martin Luther King cassettes.
Yeah.
Right? So that road I'm avoiding.
Right.
You can't cross over the park anywhere except 96th Street, but you don't dare go up that far anyway because the parade ends at around 85th.
Because you're under siege.
It ends around 85th, but they all go up to Spanish Harlem.
Right.
And it just, it sort of fans out in every direction when it ends.
You know what? I am against all parades. I'm not just picking on the Puerto Ricans, but the Puerto Ricans in particular, I got to say something.
They take over the city.
Not only do they take over the city, but they leave such filth on the ground. You know, the German Day Parade, not to make comparisons, but those crowds pick up garbage they don't even throw down. You could eat off the streets after a crowd parade. I'll say that for the Germans.
Well, you know what held us up?
And I'm not a big Germany fan.
Well, you know what held us up, Howard? After I got over the 59th Street Bridge and you get stuck in all that traffic and all the, like as Fred said, the parade goes up 5th Avenue, then all the Puerto Ricans turn around and come running down Madison Avenue the other way with flags.
Yeah.
Yes, they all have these flags.
Not only do they have these flags, which are offensive to me as an American.
They started with the flags on Friday. They had them all over the cars.
The
yes,
flags.
like the biggest holiday.
They tape them to the hood of the car.
I'm going to tell you something. New York Yeah, sir, you were at the Puerto Rican parade? And you liked it? Yeah, and you were there with who? Your sister? All right, very good.
But, Howard, you know what held us up? It wasn't the traffic of the parade. There was so much filth that there was like a caravan of sanitation trucks going down Fifth Avenue trying to clean up after them.
The sanitation trucks now are part of the parade.
Exactly.
If you had a politician like me...
Televised on Channel 11 now.
Yeah, well, that shows you the whole city is now Spanish. It's not even American anymore.
Well, they do feel like it's their day, and they own everything.
Right.
Because I was driving down 2nd Avenue, and I don't know where the parade was, but... They came through on bicycles.
Yes.
You know, we're stopped at traffic lights, and all of a sudden you hear... Beep, 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 beep. They've got whistles in their mouths, and they're blowing for you to watch out for them.
Because eventually New York will become as productive as Puerto Rico.
Well, you know what they do? They take over Central Park.
What is the main export of Puerto Rico?
People.
Puerto Ricans. That's right.
Howard, they take over Central Park because a couple of years ago when I made the mistake of walking through Central Park, they carry lit hibachis.
Yes.
They cook as they walk.
I know.
It's
now, let me tell you
wild
something.
out there in the park.
That is so wrong for an American. An American. I don't want to hear about Puerto Ricans. I want to hear about Americans carrying hibachis. That is so wrong. That is just so third world.
Meat cooking.
Yeah, it is so gauche.
Flank steaks, pigs with apples.
Yeah, pigs with apples. I mean, pigs with apples. Christ, eat that at home.
They string up a line and they hang the meat from it.
Yeah, why would you want to be outdoors eating a sloppy pig with an apple on it?
And then you see I swear to God, they have big picnics in the park to celebrate, and I know you're thinking I'm joking. They put up piñatas.
Yes.
Sir, you have a bike?
Sí.
What part of the bicycle do you sniff?
Seat.
Does it smell good?
Sí.
Who's it smell like?
Sue.
Very good. All right.
But they did. They had, even on these bikes, the bikes looked like motorcycles. They had so much stuff on them.
It's Pee Wee Herman's bike.
Yes.
With a accoutrement.
Let me tell you something.
And they stuck the flag on there, too.
Robin, if I was the governor, after I saw one Puerto Rican Day parade and I saw that the people couldn't clean up, that it was costing the city millions of dollars in sanitation workers, this was worse than snow removal. I would say Puerto Ricans do not deserve the right to have a parade. They have messed up the city, and they're going to have to be on a 50-year hiatus from a Puerto Rican Day parade. And I got news for you. I'd outlaw all these other ethnic parades, too. It's a lot of crap.
But the other thing they do, too, is have these street fairs.
Oh,
so
boy.
One street clogged up with parade, another street clogged up with a fair.
Well, this is what you see when you go to Puerto Rico. It's considered quaint over there. Here it's considered a nightmare for people who are productive.
Well, I told you, the police say that when the parade ends, they serve all this food, and you'll see like somebody eating like a big plastic plate of beans and rice and everything, standing right next to a garbage pail, and when they're done, they just drop it.
Yeah,
they
right on the ground.
Right in the ground.
Yeah, it's their America.
The litter pails that you see on the streets in Manhattan look like they belong in someone's kitchen.
Oh, I'd make Puerto Rican parades and street fairs rarer than an eclipse. You'd have to stand there with a cardboard box and look at these parades.
Bring your telescope. There's going to be a parade.
Yeah. It's like Halley's Comet. It happened once every 78 years.
But you know,
got to earn the right to parade in my country. Yeehaw!
And I didn't really realize it was Puerto Rican Day until I saw those bicyclists with the flags.
Oh, bicycle. That's not even right.
But you know, Howard, every other parade they have in the city at Fifth Avenue, they don't close the parks down to cross over. You know, the parade stops and they let you through. Apparently, this parade's so out of control that they can't let people get through.
And listen. What is it with these parades? What is...
And why are you so happy?
Yeah, what is the importance?
Puerto Rico?
Yeah, I mean, for God's sakes, go back there.
If it's so great.
And I'm not saying the Irish parade, this parade, that parade. Get rid of them all. I started walking like an Israel Day parade. Who cares?
Ukrainian, Polish.
Everybody has
Every week. And we have to live our lives. We can't get back and forth. We use this city to make a living.
Sometimes they block my street off and I have to beg the police officer to let me into the garage where I live.
Yeah, beg. She has to beg.
In the meantime, they're running these parades past the most expensive real estate in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Right up Fifth Avenue.
Well, that's
my house. No.
Why do you think they can't sell apartments anymore in Manhattan? No one can take it. No one can take it.
No one can take the state anymore.
No one can take the state of New York.
People are putting up signs all over New York State now. Get out of New York State before it's too late.
Yep. And let me tell you something. It's a mass exodus. I've seen it once before. Remember I told you when I lived in Roosevelt, all the white people left?
Yes.
Now, Roosevelt was a microcosm for what is happening all over New York State. The white people are leaving. And what is going to happen is there's going to be a couple of states with, I guess, tons of Puerto Rican parades every day. And soon they'll call New York Puerto Rico. The only people I see who don't have a parade, now this is interesting. From my observation, the only people who don't have their own parade is midgets, and that is the one group of people I'd like to see have a parade, so I could laugh.
You would go to that parade.
That would be funny.
What a crowd.
That would be funny.
Everybody.
At least there's something to see there.
Look at that one.
You are a midget, sir? And you are having a parade?
Yeah.
Well, I'm for that.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, fine.
Only causes a little congestion.
No, I'm not trouble. Very little trouble.
All right, thank you, Ronnie.
Okay. You will win, though.
I'm going to be the next governor.
You will definitely be the next
governor. Because I'm going to solve that problem in one day.
People won't admit they're going to vote for you, but when it comes down to the end, they'll be voting for you.
The silent majority is with me.
That's it.
Thank you.
See you later.
Is he delusional or what? And that guy drives me every day.
I'm thinking maybe your problem is him.
All I know is Fran Shea called me from the airport. It took her 20 minutes to get there. With him, it took me 3 hours.
Yeah, she's got to come across those same things, too.
Well, she probably took the Midtown Tunnel. You never know. It's a guessing game. It's a guessing game, Robin. It's, in all fairness to Ronnie, it is a guessing game.
I don't think he knows what he's doing.
Well, he does. I don't even know what Puerto Ricans have what they're celebrating.
You know, it's funny because I was reading in the paper that the reason for the Puerto Rican Day Parade is to celebrate the contributions of the Puerto Rican people to America.
What, women with big asses and stretch pants and the mambo? Is that the contribution?
Please tell me the contribution.
See, taco.
The theme of yesterday's parade was the song and
they're
dance.
celebrating not being in jail. What?
The song and dance of Puerto Rico.
That was the theme?
And dance?
Yes.
Now, you tell me, what about the great sciences of Puerto Rico, or the great doctors?
Great astronomer, or the doctors, or the architects.
The song and dance of Puerto Rico. I got nothing against Puerto Ricans. I love them. I love Puerto Ricans more than anybody. But
Mayor Giuliani was wearing the guayabera.
The guayabera. Who even knows what that is?
Which is the long-sleeved, traditional Caribbean men's shirt.
Yeah, it sounds attractive. Yeah, Ricky Ricardo wore it on the first pilot of the I Love Lucy.
And the other thing that happened was that police reported a stabbing along the parade.
So hard to believe.
Man was critically injured.
Only one?
George Bruno, 22, was knifed in the chest.
Yeah, they were celebrating the invention of the knife.
At 445, one of the contributions between 70th and 71st Street and 5th Avenue.
Doing the welfare shuffle.
He was taken to New York Hospital. Frank Alicia, who was 25, from Brooklyn, was arrested and charged in the case. Police don't even know what sparked the dispute.
There probably was nothing. Probably somebody looked at somebody the wrong way.
Well, you wonder why Puerto Ricans want to get together when these kind of things happen.
Unbelievable.
Well, you know, Howard, one year I got stuck actually watching the parade, because our car got stuck right in front of it. And most parades, have floats or different things. I swear they had a giant inflatable can of Goya beans.
Yeah.
Like Bullwinkle and Thanksgiving.
Yeah, right.
That's what they had.
And coffee float.
They invented green gook that they're trying to still convince me is food. Guacamole.
With green sauce.
Yeah, green sauce.
Paella.
I don't eat anything green.
Verde.
In my country, I don't eat anything verde, my friend. Green is out. Mark Harris is waiting, isn't he, in the wings?
Yes.
What is he promoting now?
Well,
all right, let me come back.
He's on tour.
All right.
Oh.
Let me come back. I'll take some phone calls. I'll speak with Mark a little bit.
What happened to his nursing career?
We'll find out in a minute. First this.
We're back with the Howard Stern Show.
I got to get Mark Harris in here. I got a guy on the phone who's Puerto Rican, wants to yell at me. While you're bringing in Mark, I'll talk to this guy. Yeah, what is your problem?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, good morning. First of all, I do not want to yell at you.
Oh, I thought you wanted to yell. I must have gotten bad information. Listen, I got nothing against Puerto Ricans. I like all people. I love all of humanity. But that parade is filthy, disgusting. There is a mass of garbage left behind. This is disgusting. I don't know what everyone is celebrating. Either you're an American or you're a Puerto Rican. If you're a Puerto Rican, get the hell out of America.
I agree with you, but
all right, then what are you calling for?
What Puerto Rican? I mean, what parade is not less, filthy?
The Krauts, the Germans. You could eat off the floor after that. They pick up garbage. You know what the German Day Parade is? As they go along, they pick up garbage. It's filthy.
I don't believe that.
You got a garbage pail sitting. You don't believe it. What do you need? What do you need me to give you evidence?
Yes, I do need evidence because
go watch the parade. Were you there?
Excuse me?
Were you at the parade?
No, I was not.
Well, then what do you know?
I was there the last couple of years.
Yeah, and what'd you see? Cockroaches and straw hats. What did they get? The sombrero. I hate the sombrero.
The sombrero?
You know who invented the sombrero?
Who invented the sombrero?
Lazy people. They invented a hat so big you can't go through a door so you can go to work.
So what are you saying, the Puerto Ricans are lazy?
I didn't say that. I said the guy who invented the sombrero is lazy.
Okay.
And anyone who wears a sombrero is lazy. Siesta's not in my language.
I understand that.
I don't rest.
But it's in our language.
I want it out of my language. I'm an American.
Well, I can agree with you. I am also American.
I'm not. You don't hear me say I'm Italio-American, a Jewish American. I'm American.
When do you hear anybody saying they're Puerto Rican American?
All the time. But that parade. I don't go to any parade. I don't need a stinking parade.
Look at. You have Puerto Ricans on your staff. Look at.
I like Puerto Ricans. I have nothing against Puerto Ricans.
Look at Jackie the Joke Man Martinez.
All right, now you're putting me on. Goodbye. Dope. Let me get Mark Harrison here. This is a guy who married... For anyone who doesn't know who this guy is, and believe it or not, most people don't.
Yeah, I don't think the world is...
Hi, Mark. How you doing? Sit down. I know you're late.
Totally aware.
Mark Harris is the guy who figured out he'd marry that old woman, Martha Ray. That fossil.
The movie star.
He figured out to marry Martha Ray, who was
movie star? What movie?
What movie?
100 years ago.
The World War II movies?
No.
Or Jumbo in the 1950s?
No, neither do you.
How about,
right.
I only look young. But what about the Martha Ray shows, the NBC shows?
I don't remember those either.
You'll get a chance to see them again with me narrating them.
Oh, is that right? You're going to be narrating them? Is that what you're working on?
No, that's only another thing I'm working on. But I have to thank you very much.
By the way, you have a great announcer's voice. I'm sure Martha Ray would be honored to have you.
My date.
Which of these shows going to be played?
Now, Howard,
on the gay channel.
Okay, let's take all the gay stuff, the feminine stuff, and all that.
You're very feminine. Let me ask you, you would take the great Martha Ray. You would take the great Martha Ray.
Right.
Kinescopes of her movies and of her shows. You would take those and defile them by using your voice and effeminate announcers. Hello, my name is Mark Harris. I'm here to present my wife, Martha Ray.
Howard.
Wouldn't you hire a professional?
No. My wife.
First of all, my date this afternoon, she just told me, and I want to tell you, she says, you're going to do great this morning. Your voice sounds so great. Susie Chaffee.
Who's that?
Susie Chapstick?
That's the one.
Yeah, she used to be a skier, and she was involved with Ted Kennedy.
She has a beautiful line.
Hold on a second. You saw Susie Chapstick where?
No, we're going out today.
I thought you were a married man.
I am.
You're married to Martha Ray.
What are you dating for?
I started dating just a few weeks ago.
Really?
Such an announcement.
What is that all about?
Are
you and Martha on the split?
No, not at all. She's very, very ill. The last time I was here in November. Seriously.
You're claiming you are dating Susie Jaffe.
Let her claim that. You can't.
No, are you claiming that?
As of today, we're just going out.
Oh, you're having a date.
Is this our first date?
This is our first date. And she's listening to the show. She didn't even know what dial it was on. But she said, do you really think Howard's going to make governor? I said, well, you're a New Yorker. You have the votes. Right. She says, I got to listen to him now.
Yeah, she'll have to. For political advice.
Yeah, but no, seriously.
I need to talk to her. I want to know if she's really going out on a date with you. I don't believe it.
How about tomorrow morning we'll get her on the phone after the date?
All right, fine.
No problem.
Okay, good. Okay.
So you are now officially dating. You're looking for what?
And why?
I'm looking for what? Hey, I go both ways. I could have a lot.
So you're dating anything that walks?
I've been going out with Grace Robbins, and because of Grace Robbins.
Who is Grace Robbins?
Harold Robbins' ex-wife.
Oh, so
she's the one that's... No, you got to understand, she's the one that...
You're not dating her.
Okay.
Is she a friend of yours, or you had sex?
No sex.
All right, that's what I thought.
She's the one that is now responsible for my act.
Let me ask you something. Why have you not just put a pillow over Martha Ray's face in the middle of the night?
See, let me tell you.
And no one would know.
Let me tell you something. Or
roll her into the pool.
Does Maggie know you're dating?
Wait a minute. I want to respond to that. You see, now that Martha is really out of pain.
But you got to get the money.
I could handle your crap.
Okay,
In November, I couldn't.
Go ahead.
And since November, they took her other leg off, and it was very bad.
All right, that
we went through a horrible time. But you made a lot of fun of the legs. Okay, she is now...
She's getting rid of her a little bit at a time.
Now without any pain, and that is the bottom line.
All right, so she has no pain.
Is she awake?
Rarely.
Oh.
And okay.
Don't you want to wait for the body to be buried before you start dating again?
No, seriously. Just a minute. You'll read the book. I heard you trash.
Although I got to admit, if my wife had both her legs off.
Oh, please.
But let me say something. And she was in a coma.
That is an invitation to date.
I'm starting to date. I am not going to wait around.
I thought you were going to say Mark Harris would date her.
No, I would. No, you could date her.
Oh, I can.
If she has money, you'll
With
date
both
her.
her legs.
You like celebrities. You want to date celebrities.
Yeah, look at it. It's somebody's ex, somebody's... you know, he's always got a name.
Well,
you know, Ted Kennedy's Susie Jaffe. Chafee, whatever.
Ted Kennedy, I'm sure I shall never date.
Right.
He's a Democrat.
So the only pain that Martha Ray's in is when you're around.
No, not
when
at
she
all.
hears that
Not
voice,
at
she goes,
I did my rehearsal for her, and
yes,
in the act.
Was she conscious?
When I sang the salute to her, yes. I salute a few people in the act, and thank you very much for doing the Clinton song, because that is...
What is the Martha Ray song? Let me hear a little of that.
It's her theme song.
Give me a little.
I can't. It's too early in the morning. The red eye, and it was late and too crazy, but I'll send you a
All right, so Mark now fancies himself in show business.
Now,
3 weeks ago, he was going to be a nurse. I thought you were going to be a nurse.
Now can I discuss that nursing bit? Here's what happened. It's a true story. I was going into the St. John's thing. It would have been February.
Right.
I was in Berlin on January, I think it was 13th, whatever the day.
Where are you getting the money from?
Why is he always in Europe?
Because nobody knows who he is.
I wonder why. So I was leaving from Berlin to Paris that morning, and when I got to Paris...
Do you have a boyfriend in Paris or in Berlin?
No.
Do you swear to God?
Not yet.
Why are you always in Berlin?
Not yet.
Why are you always in
I have
Berlin?
a valet, and he's from Germany.
How do you afford a valet?
Why don't you call him and ask him?
I'm asking you.
Call him.
Why wouldn't I ask you? You're the one who pays him. How would he know how you afford?
Well,
something.
The money is not all that interesting. I gave up blackjack for lawsuits. I'm now suing the Globe.
I think you're suing the Globe.
Yes.
What for what?
Didn't you read?
Is that the article where they said you were trading Martha Ray's limbs for money?
No,
Wasn't that it?
They said some really unfounded things.
What did they say?
I mean, really.
What did they say?
Call that journalism. For one thing, they say in the February 8th article that I claim in the manuscript that I say she became Maggie of the Boondocks, who went to Vietnam to go to bed or screw, whatever word they use, they don't know right now, all the soldiers. I never even said anything like that. It's not in there. There's a whole lot of things. My lawyer is the late Sam Kinnison's lawyer on that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's so funny. He says of the Globe, you call that journalism. No, nobody calls it journalism.
There are people out there that do. I mean, you have to understand there is.
I read one article. He called you masculine, and I heard you were suing for $50 million.
You're not exactly John Wayne. Let me tell you,
All
you're
right,
not exactly John Wayne.
We're just doing jokes.
No, that's okay.
Everything's a joke.
How's
It's a goof.
Sally? Because I hope
my aunt is fine.
She's great. No, really.
Her hair hasn't been the same since you did it. He used to be a hairdresser.
I'm still licensed.
My aunt claims he never did her hair. He just worked in a beauty shop.
No, there you're lying.
He was the shampoo girl.
Yeah.
All right, for those of you who want to know...
Robin, I have to tell you, I was reading all this stuff about this chic, this new lesbian chic.
Well,
how fashionable are you?
How much money will you inherit when Martha Ray dies?
Not much. Most of it is gone.
All right. What is your estimate?
About the house. We're not even living there.
You're not living in your house?
The earthquake hit the damn house. The house
After you fixed it up and made a disco out of the living room?
That's the part that went.
Oh,
really?
You knew
it really is. Okay, from where I made it's not a disco, the nightclub. She when she bought the house.
Where are you living now?
With Martha in a hotel.
In a hotel?
Yeah.
And why would you build a dance floor for a woman with no legs? Honestly, why would you do that?
Isn't that cruel?
So that all her celebrity people could come as they did.
And dance.
And dance and rejoice and have parties for her.
Isn't that like
wonderful.
making fun of her condition?
Which is
she
worse?
Wasn't as ill as...
Which is the worst for Martha Ray, the day she married Mark or the earthquake?
I'm the only husband.
Which is the worst
Do you know that I'm the seventh husband, the only one that made a 2-year marriage?
Really?
If she'll be alive, September will be 3 years.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Imagine if she was awake. I think the marriage would have ended in a day.
Now, I'm going to perform here in New York City.
All right. Let me play a little of your performance. Hold it, and then we'll pronounce the
must
date.
talk about the death of Cesar Romero. We haven't seen
it. Was a
since
shock.
then.
I know. That was a shock.
It was a shock that he did not live Martha.
It was a shock, and I spoke to him the day he was to come home.
Really?
In St. John.
You and Cesar Romero were on the phone the day before he died.
The day he died.
The day he died.
And he sounded okay to you?
Yeah, he was coming home. He was fine.
And then he spoke to you and he dropped dead?
No, I think about 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night.
And you were close to Cesar Romero? This is your wet dream. You married Martha Ray, now you're close to all those old-time Hollywood stars.
The way you do it, I mean, you could really report for the Globe.
No, a lot of people who are effeminate do enjoy that period in history when Martha Raye was a star. They feel that was show business. Judy Garland.
The glamour,
the scene, the stars. Stars was...
The stardust.
They don't make faces like that anymore.
You'll have to come to my show just to see the 12 costume changes.
Lombard.
Boyer.
And even the songs that you sing in your act are of that era, true?
Yeah, you're not singing any Pearl Jam or...
Yeah. No.
That stuff is horrible to you.
I don't know, but
you wish that you could have been one of these actors in the 30s or 40s.
Like Tyrone Power.
Right.
Sure.
Carol Lombard.
Because here is a piece of Mark Harris's act.
It's mocked up, so let's see what you
mocked
did.
up?
No, I didn't mock up anything.
No,
didn't touch it. Mocked up.
Is it the Clinton song?
Clinton song.
Oh, great.
I didn't mock up anything.
Okay, go.
I'll tell you something. I start sounding more effeminate the more I'm with him.
Yeah, when you're with him, you start to
Only
get
in
a
Cincinnati. Only in Cincinnati.
Here is Mark Harris with Dear President Clinton. A little piece of some of the magic of Mark Harris.
Dear President Clinton, I did write
I love those little singers.
for you to thank you on behalf of Martha Raye. I know we had our problems. I really don't know why. The medal wasn't sooner. You didn't try.
Who wrote this?
I did.
Mark.
And you asked who was playing piano.
I still laugh at the piano player.
Leo DeLion. You met him. Your
Leo
agent used to, your manager used to handle him.
Leo the Lion?
Tony the Tiger.
Leo the Lion and Tony the Tiger. Let me tell you something.
Go. Tell me more. Go ahead, abuse. I don't go for therapy. This is it.
So what Mark is singing about his wife, soon to be...
What Mark is singing about very badly.
I don't think so. It goes over in the act. Of course, that's a work tape, but no excuses. Go.
He's like the sissy Maurice Chevalier.
A sissy.
Yeah, listen.
Boy, you were born in the 50s.
You are singing about the fact that Martha Raye, your wife,
did receive the medal.
She was supposed to get, according to Mark, the Medal of Honor from President Clinton as soon as he got into office. It took a while. It actually occurred to President Clinton that he had bigger responsibilities than giving Martha Raye a medal.
Like giving it to Senator Fulbright first, right?
He was supposed to put his hand down after taking the oath and then say, I have to interrupt the ceremony to give an award to Martha Raye.
So Mark, of course, instead of graciously getting an award, he hounded the president from his first day in office, took out full-page ads in the newspaper saying, you better give Martha Raye this award, you better give Martha Raye this award.
Now, what the song is about, if you let it play, the lyrics are 100% true and accurate of President Clinton.
I enjoy D.C., and that's a very special memory.
I love that.
Now listen to every word. Tell me this is all not true.
We can't take our ears off.
Okay, go.
You are our leader.
Sure is.
And yes, you have some powers, but no more Jennifer Flowers.
Gone.
Your private life has tone, and now we'll listen to Miss Jones.
More and more.
All the gossip.
Wait a second, let me ask you something.
What are you carrying on about?
When you hear this,
yes.
Do you think that this is unbelievably good? How do you evaluate
this? Yes, I really do.
You do.
Especially in the act when it goes like that. Of course, I do mugging shtick and all that.
And you do kicks?
And costume changes.
Honestly.
No dresses. I heard you did 4 costume changes in a half hour.
I did 12. Now, Matty Danza has his place. Matty's on Melrose, Tony Danza's brother, and I did it twice. It was really fantastic. Even young people come.
Really?
Yeah.
Because they love your style of singing and your...
I think they're in shock, actually.
Is it mostly a gay audience?
No, it's a straight place.
Oh. You're saying it's mostly a straight audience?
It's 100% straight, yeah.
Really?
Sure. Maddie's on Melrose. Go ahead. Let's hear it.
Maddie's on Melrose.
Maddie. Darling, lesbian chic.
Maddie's Tony Danza's brother. Everyone is related to someone.
Yes, he doesn't know anybody who's not in show business in some
Why don't you just play the song and do the lyrics? Come on, let's go.
All the mail, I know the truth. You did inhale, cause you go with slut. You were stoned.
Simple, you Go ahead, laugh. You know you're laughing. Look at you. Look at you.
That's some... What, and let me... I'm just curious. Yeah. When you recorded this, you were in your home by a piano, like just with a tape recorder?
No, Leo DeLion's house roaring. And I was not stoned.
And when you're singing this, is Leo DeLion taking it seriously?
He was so hysterical.
He loved it.
He loved it.
How old is he?
Leo, and I know he's listening to this program, so I don't know, between 67 and 70.
Oh.
If I'm wrong, he'll never play for me.
Do you know
again.
anybody below 60?
Why hang out with anyone below 60?
Susie Chaffee.
Unbelievable. And like, did you record this on a home tape recorder?
This was just the work tape. Now on the app.
Oh, I see.
The work tape.
Yeah.
I see. The work tape. The work tape. Work tape.
Work tape. You love my voice.
What a life this guy has. Now, so tell me about Martha Ray. You're saying she has no legs now. She's in a coma. Now, who is attending to her?
She's in a coma.
Who is tending to her?
The same nurses.
She's not in a coma.
We have nurses. No.
Okay.
And where are you living?
What is that in the background? Peanut gallery. What?
Where are you living now?
In a hotel.
So do you have to share the same bedroom now that you have limited accommodations?
Quite a large room we took. We took a suite.
And do you share the bed with Martha Ray?
She can't be in a regular bed.
She cannot. What type of bed is she in?
Hospital bed.
So you can't share a hospital bed with her?
You sleep in the same room?
Really so stupid, Howard.
Why is that stupid?
Howard.
Can't you give her some last moments of pleasure?
She's getting pleasure by being out of pain.
Is that right?
Should be happy for
Is she on a heavy medication?
No. That's how...
If you were a real husband, you would give her something to, some fantasy.
She knows I'm out there. She knows I'm saluting her. She knows her name will continue.
I see.
That was the most important thing to her.
Yes. So where's the song? Go with the lyrics. Go ahead. Yeah. Maybe Aunt Sally is out there listening.
Yeah.
Who's the newcomer over there?
It's like Dracula's in the room.
I know.
Yeah.
Only,
Jay Dracula.
Yeah.
Marcos
She knows I'm out there. She knows I'm saluting her.
Oh, who is that?
He's really
What do you care?
You're right. I'm not going to date you. Don't worry about it.
You sound like Dracula sometimes.
Only because that layover,
really killed you.
It was terrible, yeah.
But I always like when Mark...
But wait.
No gift from the plane this time?
I did bring you something in the story about your name in Paris, and so I brought you the gift. What happened?
I hate
That's
Paris.
After the song. I love Paris.
Well, of course you do.
In the springtime. This guy is like wacky.
I didn't do that.
Oh, whoever did it. Listen.
And now the truth, Bill. Really?
What the hey? Did you have a moment gay?
What is that about?
I'm asking him a question.
You think the president might have had gay sex? That's what you think?
Yeah, anything's possible.
He just threw that into her song.
Anything's
Did you have a moment gay?
Yeah, like Bill's going to write a song to answer this.
Yeah.
Well, why would somebody so stupid running for office say he didn't inhale? I mean, that is stupid.
Did you bend over and go, ole?
Oh, you could write lyrics, too. Continue. Go.
Who are you going to marry next after Martha goes?
Who do you got your set on?
Now Martha's on her last legs. Maybe put in a call to Vivian Vance.
She's dead.
Oh, that's right. Well, that shouldn't stop you.
Oh,
you missed that one.
No, I'm going
June
to London.
Allison?
I am going to London from here and meeting somebody.
Hello, this is Mark Harris for Miss June Allison. I would like to speak to the lady, please. Lady of the house. Hello.
Why don't you just say it all
Hello. Hello, ma'am. I'm a big fan of yours. I used to be married to Martha Ray, and I would like to marry you. Well, I don't even know you. Please, Miss Allison, I'd make an excellent husband.
You won't regret it.
You won't regret it, and I would make sure that your name will live on.
This should be your acceptance speech.
Well, I am not going to marry you. Well, then what about your sister? She'll do.
Van Johnson.
Who is the executor of your estate?
And how many body parts do you have left?
Okay, the lyrics. Go ahead.
Lyric.
You give us pride and joy from every Jew to every goy.
I love how precise.
Yeah, you don't want to miss one word of that.
Let's hear the finish, because Barbara Streisand should sing this. She's on his side. The ending is...
You are so...
Go.
How did Martha Ray get... how did she marry you?
As she told me, the best years of her life.
Really?
Yes.
You have proof that she said that? You have that on tape?
Where is that?
The nurses' records. They had, since the conservatorship write every
Are you preparing the conservatorship has to write down every word?
The nurses have to keep journals every day of everything that happens at every hour. And that's a testament to whatever went on.
So, in other words, when the will is contested...
The will won't be contested.
You don't think the daughter will contest it?
I highly doubt it.
Really? Why?
I don't think I should discuss that publicly, but after she goes, it will be contested.
She'll do away with who?
No, on the contrary, it's my phone that I have tapped. Go ahead.
What is he talking about?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Do the nurses like you? Are there any male nurses?
No.
All females. Interesting.
Unless they're in drag.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
So she said that you were the best years of her life? Yeah. Really?
Has she lived how many years before she met you?
Oh, she suffered every one of those years. I got news.
Look, she had some pretty big husbands there from 1 to 6.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
But you were the best.
You don't think the will be contested based on the fact that...
no, I don't.
No one's even sure if the marriage was consummated, even though you claim it was?
First of all, do you realize that that is not an issue? Whether it was or was not has nothing to do.
Because Jackie the Jokeman says he's going to contest the will.
Yes, okay. Well, let's do that last lyric there.
Now, what were you doing in Europe? Like more of this singing?
No, just finish that, and then we're going to get right into Europe.
No, I'll get to it when I want to.
Oh,
what were you doing in Europe? You don't visit any people over there?
I visit a lot of people.
But you were there to
sing. My former life was the garment industry.
Mm-hmm.
Now I just sing in some cafes.
All right.
Not on subways yet.
Is it me, Robin, or is he 5 times more effeminate today than usual?
You know, when he first came in here, he was just a little bit effeminate.
Now I'm working into my full act here.
Oh, I tell you.
I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
I just wonder when Martha Ray married you, did she say, hey, my husband is awfully effeminate?
I think he's after her clothes.
You can see why people would think...
You didn't see her wardrobe of fatigue.
You can see why people would think.
But do you really think people care?
So was there insurance on your house? Was insurance on Martha Ray's house taken care of?
Earthquake insurance?
Of course.
So there was quite a bit of money.
Yeah, that's why we can't even live there.
So that money will go to you as soon as she dies?
No, the house is being rebuilt.
Why don't you just put a pillow?
Without a nightclub.
Put a pillow over her face. No one will know.
Oh,
just do it.
You are really something.
Do it, then we can be together.
You know, those nurses must always be around.
You know, you sounded like Richard Simmons.
I wish those nurses would leave. I could put a pillow over her face.
Can I have a moment alone with my wife?
Go, Robin, go!
No one will blame you. You're putting her out of her misery.
It's a mercy thing.
Oh, no, I'll roll her into the pool.
Is this you?
I know. I'll sing to her to death.
You know,
give us really more. The worst can happen. We will have President Gore.
Oh, that would be terrible.
He's commenting on his own song.
He loves this song.
Yeah, right.
I really do, but now, of course, I do.
You should be very proud of yourself.
It's just the work tape. I'm doing it myself, the ad-lib.
Do you ever,
Never.
Do you ever talk to the audience during the show?
That's what I do. I talk to them.
Do you do raps?
I open up with I'm just a gigolo.
Right.
And matter of fact, I do a rap. I do a rap. Yeah.
That's appropriate.
It is?
I think so.
Oh, yeah?
I think in a way you're a gigolo, in a sense.
Well, I don't know. Did you ever...
I don't mean
I introduced who I was before Martha Ray.
What were you?
Phantom of the Kitchen. I do cook.
Mm-hmm.
So we put that in the act. When I open in Vegas...
Phantom of the Kitchen?
The 4th of July. So this is 2nd and 3rd. I was at your friend Steve Ross.
Where do you do this act? I mean, no one has ever seen it.
I'm waiting for you. Now that I'm doing things in America.
Right.
Okay.
Where are we going to see this?
Okay.
Oh, Manny
in New York, will
Melrose.
you? Okay. Jean-Claude, the owner of Chez Josephine on 42nd Street.
Chez Joseph.
Chez Josephine.
Of course. Yes, of course. Would you believe that?
Phantom of the Kitchen. I know. I see.
Now wait.
Press photo when it was Phantom of the Kitchen. Fine.
July 2nd and 3rd. And you're just gonna.
July 2nd and 3rd. You're really going to be here.
No,
we should
that's
go, Robin.
in Las Vegas.
Oh.
Will you come to Chez Josephine, please? He's listening.
Chez Josephine?
And he wants to come on your show to promote his book, which is now...
A guy's name is Josephine?
No, that was his
Josephine
mother.
Baker, Jean-Claude. Oh, you do read, Robin, don't you?
I do, yes, Mark.
So he's listening to this broadcast, and he would love to come on your show.
Like Mark knows all the little cafes and bistros.
Yeah, he'd come to Paris with me. You'd have a ball.
No, I don't think. I think I probably have 2 balls. Mark Harris says, "Come to Paris with me. You'll have a ball."
Well, it's a little more than a croissant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But look, here, July.
I don't know what you mean.
I know you don't, but you really do.
You're babbling like Martha Ray. I think you've been hanging around with her too much. Let me say something about your lovely wife, Martha Ray.
Yes.
I feel bad for her.
So do I.
I do. I feel bad that she's...
But you're already dating.
I think it's disgraceful that you're dating.
She didn't think so.
Well, I don't care what she
did
thinks.
Not think
she's
so.
embarrassed to tell you that she's against it.
No. You're very wrong.
I think you ought to wait out of respect to Martha Ray.
So I should just go out to functions alone?
Right.
Oh, that's all you're doing is having escorts?
Right.
Oh, all right.
Without paying for it.
All right, so you're just having female escorts?
Right, and I never slept
and
with
you
anybody.
Swear, I want you to raise your right hand right now.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Mm-hmm.
Say, I swear to God.
I swear to God.
that I, Mark Harris.
Right.
Say it. Repeat it to me. That
I, Mark Stephen Harris,
have not had gay sex during my entire marriage with Martha Ray.
I've had bi-sex during my marriage with Martha Ray.
Oh, you have? Oh, you
but
have?
That's in the book. But that's in the book.
It is.
Martha shared her secrets, and I shared mine, and we had a lot of happiness and fun and
company. Oh, so you have had sex during the marriage?
Bi-sex.
Bi-sex.
What does that mean?
You wouldn't know because you're into that lesbian chic stuff. But
what is he
not to worry. I don't know.
I was making accusations.
I don't care. Just answer my question.
What is bisexual? He has sex with men and women.
Okay. That's all I was asking, Mark.
Oh, is that all?
Mark's an open book.
I have no problem with it.
The reason I like
you
Mark,
ask a question, I'll give you an answer.
I like Mark because he's an open book.
Oh, boy.
I don't want to tell you the title of that book.
It's Take It From a Bigger Mouth.
Now, what infirmity does Susie Chaffee have?
None.
Really?
None.
She got both her legs?
Should I bring her here tomorrow morning?
Yes.
After our date?
Please.
Okay, now, Susie, I know you're listening, and I know Jean-Claude is listening, and he's my evening date tonight. Right, Jean-Claude? So I should bring them both here, right?
Yes.
Right. It's not exactly menage a trois because they don't even know one another.
Menage a trois.
I know. It's something in your fantasy.
So, in other words, Mark is saying he's had sex with women during this marriage.
Oh, my. I'm not saying that. You are.
You just said you had bi-sex. Bi-sex.
You'll really have to read the book, won't you?
What book? You
were the one trashing it. You picked up something from the thing. Well, no.
You don't have a book out.
No, because right now we're suing the Globe for what they did, and when we find the publisher that gave out the manuscript, it'll be even a bigger lawsuit.
I see.
But it's registered in Santa Monica Court.
He's involved in 20...
I know.
Registered, darling. Where are you registered? Santa Monica Court.
Yes.
Now, don't you want to know about the July 2nd and 3rd at the Celebrity Deli in
Why don't you announce everything you're doing so we can say goodbye to you already, so you can get back to your date?
Like you're bored.
I'm
not bored.
No, I'm not bored. Now, you got to hear this. Steve Rossi opened was there Friday night.
I knew you two would link up somehow.
Girlfriend.
Yes.
Steve's working with his girlfriend?
I don't know.
His own, not mine. And she just sings beautiful.
Right. Just tell me where you're going to be appearing.
So
I can
for
get
the
your
2nd and 3rd in Vegas, I am going to do the deli. I'm also going to do
deli?
Celebrity Deli.
You're going to play a celebrity deli?
Play and bake.
Okay, all right.
As long as I can cook too. They have no rugelach on the menu, and I make it.
Okay, and then where will you be appearing after that?
In the whole month of August, we're going. It's an ensemble. Barbara McNair, Herb Jeffries, myself.
Barbara McNair is playing with you?
With you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Poor Barbara McNair.
What do you mean, poor Barbara McNair? She's a beautiful person. Great.
That's what I mean. I feel bad for her.
Yeah, she's a good singer.
I used to read her in Playboy and have sex to her image.
I got to tell you, great singer. And when we're here in New York...
Tell me where you're going to be.
In New York, Shea Josephine.
On what day is that?
42nd Street. Oh, it's going to be a lot of days per week. We're just laying out the days because I'm doing another club that I'm going to this afternoon.
And you'll be there as an entertainer or as a waiter? At Shea Josephine. Will you be waiting tables, or will you be...
You want to know the truth? If you tell me you will be there one evening, I shall put on a waiter's uniform, and I shall serve you.
All right, very good. Mark Harris, married to Martha Ray. We always look forward to his exploits.
Oh, he's incredible.
He will check in with us tomorrow.
I'm going to bring them...
You're going to bring Susie Chaffee with you. I want to thank... Chaffee.
Right.
And we will take a break, then we'll come back and do the news, take a few phone calls, and we'll be back right after these words.
Right.
Thank you, Mark Harris.
Howard Stern.
All right.
We're back with the Howard Stern Show.
Well, we just had Mark Harrison here.
Doesn't he just make you laugh being in the room?
He holds you captive. He's not captivating. He holds you captive. Robin came in here to say hello to Mark during the commercials, and Mark just starts speaking French, telling a story about France and speaking French to Robin. I'm like, oh, poor Robin. She can't escape.
And he talks so fast.
You don't know what he's saying.
He doesn't.
I don't even know if he's really saying French words.
I walked up behind the girl at the counter and I said, Gaston, je ne peux pas manger ce passage.
And then what happened, Mark?
Oh, she just died. It was awful. It was unbelievable. And they know me from your show. They don't know me as Mr. Martha Ray.
Hey, is that Mark Harris from the Howard Stern Show? So I said to her, I was on the Champs-Élysées.
Vive la France.
And I screamed. And they took me away and interrogated me.
There's nothing remote about any place on the Champs-Elysees, but he says a remote part.
We should have brought him to Cleveland because it's one time when we did the funeral in Los Angeles for Mark O'Brien.
Oh, he was a highlight.
We brought Mark Harris, and the fans were throwing so much stuff at him.
But he was dodging and continuing to sing.
He never stopped for a minute.
Won't stop.
It would have been great to see with your action in Cleveland.
People don't call me Mr. Martha Ray. They just yell, "Hey, homo."
And then he started screaming about, I said, did you have sex with a man during your marriage to Martha Ray? And he said, bi-sex. I thought he said he had a bi-sex. Actually, someone just faxed that.
Divine man.
Someone said, I think Mark Harris was trying to tell you he was trying to buy sex.
Not enough money.
Not enough money.
Man.
Dear Mr. Clinton, I'm writing you this song. Gone. You made me love you. I didn't want to do it.
Oh,
Dear President Clinton, I did write this song for you to thank you on behalf of Martha Ray.
Whoopie do.
That guy's out of the time tunnel.
And then he tells us he does rap.
And then he started rapping to Robin, doing rap. It was like gay rap. I don't want to talk about it. He's weird, but I love him. I love that guy.
I can't imagine what a quiet moment would be like with him.
I just know he's having a lot of fun.
You think?
Yeah, absolutely. More fun than I am.
He's certainly high on life.
You made me love you. The legs fell off of Martha. The legs fell off of Martha.
Cleveland, you're on the air.
Morning, Howard.
Morning.
Want to compliment you on a great show in Cleveland.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah,
we enjoyed it.
It really was. I got to agree with you. I heard you say earlier today that Pat Godwin song was the highlight for you.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I couldn't get that tune out of my head all day.
You know who else was really good, and I wish I had had time to talk to him on stage, but there was no time, was the guy who did Lanigan's Eye Shakes, Rattles, and Rolls.
Yes.
He looked like he was lit out of a cannon.
What was he dressed as?
I don't know, but it was weird.
A Civil War nurse
it
or
was
something?
like a Confederate jacket.
Were you there at the funeral, or did you just listen to it on the radio?
I was there at the funeral.
Did you see that guy, Lanigan's Eye Shakes, Rattles, and Rolls?
I heard it. I couldn't see it. I was too far away. There were thousands of people in front of me.
Man.
But it sounded good.
Yeah, it was good, but, I mean, he definitely seems a little wacky.
Oh, man.
I mean, I would have liked to find out what his story is.
Maybe we should have met him a little earlier.
I'd like to hear selected songs tomorrow from the Cleveland trip, like a little David Lee Roth, a little bit of Lanigan's Eye Shakes, Rattles, and Rolls. I'd like to hear the Pat Godwin song, all that stuff.
How did it sound to you out in the crowd? You could hear everything?
Yeah, I could hear everything. I heard a caller earlier say that she couldn't hear anything, but I could hear everything fine. I was sober, though, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, maybe that was what did it. Yeah, it was interesting. And then all that intrigue with being cut off the air and all that stuff was kind of weird.
Yeah, I had a radio with me, so I could hear what was going on the radio and also live.
I got to say one thing about Cleveland. They had more good-looking girls whipping off tops in that audience than I'd ever seen at any funeral.
It seemed like there was a lot of women who were willing to do that.
A plethora.
It was very surprising.
Man, there's some good-looking girls in Cleveland.
Hey, Howard?
Yeah.
Want to compliment you and everybody, your entire radio show. I got a chance to meet you all going into the airport on the way home, and you were all very gracious and signed my book, and I even got you to sign my poster.
Yeah, some woman flipped me the bird after we were leaving because I didn't sign her book or something, but it was like, it was sort of a nut house there. It was about 10,000 people.
Yeah, I thought you guys were all very gracious, including Jackie and Stuttering John, who I thought might have a little rock star attitude now that he's got a record out.
Well, they do. Jackie and John have bad attitudes, but I lectured them pretty severely for about an hour and a half before you met them, and I told them you just handle yourself properly in front of people and stop with the rock star attitude.
They were all very kind.
All right.
They all were.
Well, it seems my little lecture paid off.
You did whip us in the shape.
Yeah.
Hey, I think it's I don't think you should call your poster a poster, because I tell people I got Howard to sign my poster, and they look at me like why do you want him to sign a cheap poster? It's a really nice quality lithograph.
Well, not only that, I am going to... You save that because I'm going to take it off the market. As a matter of fact, I haven't been doing any commercials for 1-800-52-STERN. I've kind of low-keyed it, but I must tell you that is a Leroy Neiman. I am going to take it off the market. I'm going to take the videotape off the market. We have a videotape out that is a load of laughs. And I mean, you go backstage to our New Year's event, and it's a lot of fun. So if you ever want to see us, we can do whatever we want on video, which is great. So it's definitely X-rated. And it's wild, and it's out on sale right now. All you have to do is pick up the phone and dial 1-800-52-STERN. And also, the poster alone would be $39.95, but we throw in the videotape as well, which is over a 2-hour tape. So it's quite good. It's one of the best products we ever put out. And you know what? Like all our other products, I bet this one goes up in value, way up.
I highly recommend it.
1-800-52-STERN. You must be 18 or older. $39.95 plus $4.50 shipping and handling. Brought to you by Infinity Ventures and me. Thanks for the call.
Hey, thank you, Howard.
Okay, bye-bye. Want to hear one more newscast?
Yeah.
Okay. Got one queued up, so... Before MC Poof came in here, I had it all...
Oh!
Yeah,
News Channel 5, Cleveland's live 24-hour news source continues.
We said we would give you the best funeral we ever gave, and I am telling you, if this satellite works, this will be the best funeral we ever gave.
And what a show it was as thousands of Clevelanders crowd into the flats to see Howard Stern and his whole wacky crew.
Good evening. Stern's radio show, which is broadcast on WNCX here in Cleveland, was knocked off the air twice today because of sabotage.
As News Channel 5's Ted Hart reports, the suspect is an employee of a competing station.
The first sign of trouble came while Stern was visiting the site of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum. Someone jammed the frequency.
What's the matter, Doug? We have to go?
It's like the president visiting Cleveland.
Was it the top news story?
Yeah, that was the head news story. Well, it is a big story. First of all, it's a federal offense, and not only that, it is quite interesting in the psyche of America. Talk about the radio wars. I mean, this shows you how powerful we are. We come to town.
People lose all sense of right and wrong.
Yeah. I mean, let's face it. There's at least 40 radio stations or 30 radio stations in Cleveland on the dial, AM and FM. On any given day broadcasting, nobody goes around cutting each other's wires. I come to town, they're cutting the wires. Like, what's that all about? Are you so lame that you can't put anything good on your own radio station?
But I'm in the middle of talking to the black guy. What? Oh, we're not on the air.
Instead of hearing Stern, there was a voice on that frequency repeating swear words.
Expletives started coming over the radio. We had to, unfortunately, run in delay, so we were able to... We didn't make the air, but it came over our system, so we had to back off.
I wish we weren't in delay. I wish it would have gone over the air.
Who is that?
I don't know. I don't know. You know, they usually...
have a chyron.
Yeah, so you can't tell. They do writing on the bottom of the screen. You could find out who that is.
Stern Caravan rushed back to the flats, only to get sabotaged a second time.
We've actually had our wires cut, our actual wires that broadcast the show.
People said the best part of the show is when I got on the phone and started broadcasting over the phone.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of doing that more often now. It's actually picking up the phone and broadcast. People liked it.
They like phone radio.
Yeah, it was just like, but they can't stop me. I'll broadcast through a tin cup if I have to.
It'll be the satellite that go to the truck. Gary, get your hand out of my face. I'm on TV.
Police quickly arrested a 30-year-old man identified as the engineer for competing radio station WMMS.
The evidence at this time indicates that wires were cut, which is disrupting public service as a felony.
Rather than take him out through the crowd, police took the suspect away by boat. In his pocket...
They should send him to Siberia. In his pocket...
They found a pair of wire cutters.
Oops. The guy didn't even throw away the wire cutters because he was so arrogant. He's like, what's the big deal? I'm not going to get in trouble for this. He's hung around. Thought it was a big joke.
Police also seized a videotape from Jeff Lando's home video camera. Lando says he taped the man's confession to police.
Well, what did you hear?
That he did it on his own. But that's what I heard, but he was being very vague about it.
The Stern Show...
Who in Cleveland wouldn't start listening to us after all this hoopla? Who isn't tuned into us?
Yeah, they just alerted all the people who didn't know about us to who we are.
Nitwits. Stupid-ass radio guys. Clueless.
to 15 million listeners nationwide. The incident this morning knocked the show off the air for about 6 minutes. Howard Stern could not have paid for better publicity than this. A chief engineer from a competing radio station sabotages his visit to Cleveland. It'll give Stern material to work with for weeks to come.
Everyone's acting like I don't have some kind of shortage of material.
That was what everybody kept saying to you. Oh, well, you can play this up for weeks.
I think what that's supposed to mean is like, so it's not such a big deal. It is a big deal. It's a big deal when people start vandalizing.
It just gives you something to talk about.
Yeah. In other words, it's good. No, it's a federal offense. We wanted to go to a TV station and do some radio and stuff, and these guys prevented us from doing it.
Well, what's interesting to me is how little people think about ethics. You know, they're not even concerned when ethics are breached. They're just, well, you can talk about it.
Yeah, hey, this is great. Hey, yeah, they just shot someone. It's good. You can talk about it.
WNCX management says the station is investigating both incidents and will vigorously pursue prosecution. Ted Hart, News Channel 5.
WMMS program director John Gorman confirms the man arrested is an engineer at the station. He said if, in fact, the engineer did anything wrong, he was acting on his own.
All right, we'll see about that. Because when the police go after this guy, and this guy, right now this guy, you know what this guy's thinking? Nothing's going to happen. I'm going to get out of this.
What's the big deal? I'll get a little slap on the wrist, maybe do some community service, and it'll be funny, and I'll talk to all the TV stations.
Yeah, I'll get out of this. I'll be a big hero at my station. They'll give me a raise. You know, let me tell you something. When the police say that this guy is going away for 10 years, when this guy realizes the reality of that, he's going to sing. And John Gorman, whoever he is, he could be implicated. I'm not saying he's implicated, but he could be. And so could the owner. And if these guys are implicated, that means their 8 radio stations are out of their hands. It's an FCC violation.
I would find it very interesting if this man still works for them.
Yeah, I want to know everything.
Said WMMS had nothing to do with any sabotage.
And now for the show. Stern's reason for visiting Cleveland was to hold a funeral for the competition. His latest...
Those guys are making in their pants right now over at MMS.
I would ask Tom, would he fire an engineer who did this?
Of course he would.
So is that guy still working for WMMS?
If he's still working for WMMS, then it's an admission of guilt on their part.
Positive.
But I bet you they're afraid to fire him.
Yeah, well, if they, told him, put him up to it, they can't fire him.
That's right. Take the fall for us, please. Nothing will happen.
Look, your job will be here when you get out.
Yeah, don't worry. You get out in 10 years? I'm sure technology won't have changed.
I'm sure I will still be able to use you.
You'll only be 40. We'll put your kids through college.
You don't have kids? All right, we'll make some for you.
We'll buy you a house on Lake Erie.
Don't worry, your wife will be taken care of.
I don't know if upper management or not knew about it, but I'll tell you something. There's good cause to believe that they knew about it.
King's book has Stern #1 in Cleveland, and his News Channel 5 Roosevelt Leftwich found out thousands of Clevelanders came out today to cheer him on and to watch the show.
So you take some guys...
Is that Jackie yelling?
Yes, oi, oi, oi.
Oi, oi, oi.
Hi.
Hello, Cleveland.
Oi, oi, oi.
In uniform, Joey Buttafuoco with an axe, David Lee Roth, some half-naked women, a whole lot of half-naked women, several thousand screaming Clevelanders, and you've got a Howard Stern funeral. And boy, what a show. But you have to go back to the beginning to get a true picture. Stern, Robin Quivers, the boy with horse teeth, and the rest of his wacky gang took over Tiffany's...
What did they say?
The boy with horse teeth.
Cabaret for their now #1 radio show.
That we would not conquer Cleveland. That Cleveland was different. It was the same old story. But
Cleveland is a conservative market.
Cleveland is conservative. Cleveland is not a Howard Stern market. They love Cleveland loves WMMS.
Dozens of folks crowded into Tiffany's to watch the show. Some came to look, others came to wave at their hero. Stern then tried to take a show on the road, but just as they were about to leave the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they lost their signal and had to make it back to Tiffany's really quick. But when the power came back on, it was time for the funeral. First, John Lanigan bit the dust.
Is Flanagan shakes, rattles, and rolls.
And then it was the buzzard's turn.
Rattles and rolls. Let it I shake, rattles and rolls.
Even when the show was over, thousands of people hung around to catch that last glimpse of Stern. Because no matter what you think of him, he's number one, and you can't dispute that.
It was fantastic. Cleveland radio needs a change. Howard is here. Woo! Number one. Howard for governor.
You love this show.
Howard's number one.
Howard for governor of Ohio.
Wow. They want you governor of every state.
Robin, I can't run every state.
Oh, man. Nobody's better on Cleveland radio than Howard Stern. He's number one. Number one.
In Cleveland's flats, Roosevelt Lutwidge News Channel.
Beautiful funeral. Cleveland police say at least 8,000 to 10,000 people showed up for the event.
I thought it was 112,000 people. All right, let's take a break and come back and do the news for you right after these words.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show on KGL Fort Worth, Dallas. 97.1 The Eagle. We're back with The Howard Stern Show.
Okay. By the way, tonight on the E! Network, they're getting everyone prepared for our new TV show. They're airing something called Howard Stern in the Studio. So I guess it's... I also understand they have incredible tape of our Cleveland trip that they'll be showing in their news.
I simply saw some promos, and they were saying that in the news they would be talking about you being put off the air in Radio Wars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we let them travel around with us with their camera, and they got some really incredible tape. So... And we'll be installing our robot cameras in here on Wednesday. Which is a big job. They've got to, like, from what I understand, the way it's been explained to me, they got to, you know, we don't want the cameras in the way, so they got to bolt them down in out-of-the-way places and make sure they're all locked down. It's like a whole big job. And then all the lighting rig has got to go into the ceiling. So,
oh, really? So it'll be permanent?
Yeah.
Won't be that makeshift setup they had before?
No. All right, they have to be careful not to disturb the dust in here.
Very important.
Very important. You don't want to disturb that.
Fine coating.
This might actually be good that they're installing cameras because they might have to clean the studio.
Might wipe something off.
Right, accidentally. You know, I think they got to keep the camera lenses free of dust, so they might have to clean it every day.
Ah, wheel benefit.
Yeah. Might be able to breathe in here.
They might vacuum.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Don't get crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. Anyway, Robin, what's in the news?
Well, you know, it's the biggest story here in town is the death of this Rabbi.
Rabbi?
The Grand Rabbi, Menachem Schneerson, or Schneerson.
You know, I always think that, like, Jews are pretty smart people.
Uh-huh.
You know, even people who hate Jews say they're pretty crafty people.
Uh-huh.
But, like, why are there so many Jews who believe that they shouldn't bury this Rebbe because they think he's going to come back from the dead?
I don't know, Howard. I can't answer that for you. But he had a whole group of people believing that he was the Messiah. And I wondered, even through a stroke that left him speechless for 2 years, people were still saying that.
That he was the Messiah?
Yeah.
I think if you're the Messiah, you don't stroke.
Couldn't say a word. And they still let him be the leader.
Yeah.
And now they're devastated that he's gone, and they have to find a new one. They say, we don't know what to do. This man couldn't talk for 2 years.
Is it really fair to call the Hasidim Jewish? I mean, they should have a special new religion, because I think they kind of, I mean...
They're special class.
I think they kind of sort of embarrass the regular Jews.
Well, you know, they say he was one of the most influential Jewish leaders in the world. This 92-year-old man who ran the Lubavitcher sect for some 40 years.
I know if you went out on the street and asked Jews what a Lubavitcher sect is, most of them wouldn't know. I mean, I think they have to create a new religion for guys who walk around with beards and the big pigtails.
And all the clothing. They have some wacky traditions, too. Now, first of all, I got to tell you, this guy died yesterday. He's already in the ground.
Yeah, no, the Jews bury quickly. That's true of all Jews.
They took him out of the hospital, marched him to his office for a little while, and then they took him right to the cemetery. He's in.
I think that makes a lot of sense. I never understood the Christian way of sitting there with the body for 5, 6, 7 days.
It's hard to let go.
Yeah, partying with that body.
It is hard to let go. You want to keep it.
Well, if this rabbi does come back from the dead, does that mean every Jew has to grow pigtails and beards and wear black hats?
I think we all will.
I think everyone does.
If he comes back from the dead, we're all going to get in that garb.
Cement them in.
Because I'm not wearing that.
That's right. Get extensions.
I don't care. Hey, I'll be the first one to say that he's the Messiah if he comes back from the dead, but I refuse to dress like that. Not in the summer.
You're almost there now.
That's true.
Well, listen to this. Now, there are some traditions that they observe when the Rebbe dies. First of all, there were a lot of people very, very upset who were running behind the coffins. You know, like they started out on this funeral procession and it started to rain and the people just started rushing past police barricades and I think they took out one light pole.
It's going to be like that when I die.
And a lot of the people were screaming, "Wake up, Rebbe, wake up."
Postmaster, Rabbi, wake up.
We love you. Just wake up, dude. And crying, ripping their lapels, the men ripping their lapels in a sign of a broken heart.
Wake up, Rabbi.
But there was another group that started drinking beer, dancing, and banging on tambourines.
That was Jackie's group, the Off-Hour Rockers.
They were dancing for joy.
Get up, you lazy son of a bitch!
They said that the Rebbe had guaranteed them that he was the Messiah, and this was the day of redemption, so why wouldn't you celebrate? But then some of the members of the sect that are still alive, like the Rabbi Krinsky, said that the dancing was incomprehensible and sacrilegious.
Wow.
So we're waiting to see if the Rabbi Schneerson actually rises from the dead.
I think Fred has a better chance of rising from the dead than Rabbi Schneerson.
Wouldn't he have gotten up from a stroke
Yeah.
if he could rise?
Show me something of a miracle.
93! So untimely!
And he never appointed a successor.
Why?
So they don't know. And he had no heirs, so there's no one that it would automatically pass to.
Wow.
So they think that they might have some kind of problem in the flock.
You think the Rebbe had a plan, like he wanted to show survival of the fittest, that the best Rebbe would be the one that survived? You know what I mean?
Why would you leave people in confusion and
they miss you more.
subject the flock to a possible risk?
That's what I plan to do with this show.
People who come forward looking to lead the group.
I plan to do that with this show. I'm going to leave it in confusion so people will miss me more. I'm not going to appoint a successor.
Yeah, well, they don't know what to do now, do they?
He's a jokester.
In hours before his burial, lots of people got to file by his body.
Wouldn't it be great instead of Rabbi Schneerson, Caesar Romero rose from the dead?
Somebody rose, but it wasn't the rabbi.
Would that freak everyone out? And then we had all dressed like Caesar Romero?
Yes.
The Joker.
Like the Joker.
That would be nice.
His corpse was later washed in the traditional purification ceremony and was placed in a coffin made from his lectern and his desk.
And the jetty.
They say that he used to sit behind that desk and hand out dollar bills as good luck.
Hey, Jews giving away money?
Wait a minute.
You know, I got $1, I feel better.
They can't be real Jews. No way. Can't be real dollars. Giving away money. What?
Yeah, but they had an ulterior motive.
Now, 10 elders from the flock will be sitting Shiva. This not sitting and shivering, sitting Shiva.
What's happening? The rabbi is dead?
Yeah. It's funny to me that
forgot my shredder.
Budweiser made it into the celebration.
Budweiser?
Yes,
they're brilliant.
They said a lot of people were drinking Budweiser when they were dancing.
Oh, it was Ice Draft. I love it.
Proud to be your Rebbe.
So we say goodbye to the Rebbe.
Goodbye, Rebbe.
We have a grieving Jewish person over there.
Really?
What?
Goodbye. Yeah. We will miss you. What the hell are we going to do now?
He's very upset, Rob. You're not Jewish. You don't understand.
I know.
God is dead. Where's the free Budweiser? Who will give me $1 now? Weep. I'm grieving.
I'm so sorry.
It's weird when you see like a group of people putting that much adulation into one person. You know what I mean? It's like And, you know, the guy had a stroke for 2 years. He could have, they could have helped pick a successor or something.
Well, they wouldn't have known. What does he mean when he points like that? Does he mean you're the next one, or you're supposed to pick the next one?
Rabbi, blink once if you want Rabbi Gerechten. Blink twice if you want Rabbi Gerechten.
I'm so upset I forgot to comb my beard today.
But, you know, it's that's a whole different... That's not real Jewish... You know, that's a whole... That's got to be something...
How come that's not real Jewish? Don't
Can't
they
be.
keep to all the traditions and...
well, they're against Israel.
No, they're not.
Oh, yes, they are.
Lubavitcher had a lot of followers in Israel.
No, they're against the formation of the State of Israel.
Why don't you read?
I'm not going to read. If I read, the show would be filled with facts.
Look in the paper.
No, you read. I'm always right. You always tell me, why didn't you read it? And the next day you're apologizing to me.
Oh, no. This time I'm not. Because you used to say that all the time, and it would confuse me.
They live in Israel. Listen to me. I'm going to explain it to you.
All right.
The Hasidim will live in Israel. They don't believe there should be a state of Israel. They don't believe in Palestine. You know, they just believe that that's a holy place and it should be open to all people.
Sure.
And they don't think that there should be a state known as Israel.
But they'll live there.
Yes. Yeah, because they believe that's Holy Land, but they don't think there should be a state of Israel. So they're, like, against that.
Well, okay, if you say so.
I'm telling you.
I'm not clear on that point.
Well, maybe I studied under Rebbe Schmierson. Rebbe Martling.
Rebbe Martling is probably more like it.
They believe in no state of Israel and no razor blades.
That's why the beard?
Hence the beard.
All right.
Excuse me.
But it's like, you know, come on, that's like Amish. It's like a whole thing.
But still, if Judaism is a religion, and they practiced it more zealously than others, how could you say they're not the real Jews?
Come on.
They are the real Jews. You others are pretenders, I think.
Don't put me in that category. I'm half Italian.
I think you practice, though.
I do. I pray to Gabby Hayes. A man who looks like Gabby Hayes.
He must have been a Hasidim, right?
Yeah.
Tony Awards handed out last night.
Tony Awards.
These are the awards for distinguished performance on in the Broadway theater.
They're not even on TV. They're so meaningless.
No, they were, weren't they?
Were they, Robin?
They always broadcast them, but I didn't watch this year. I forgot and watched the Knicks game.
And who was Tony? Some homo?
No, Antoinette somebody. Antoinette Perry, I think her name was. That's who the Tony Award is named after. Some what?
Homo.
No, it was a woman.
I want to get
bisexual.
No, you know what it is? Theater is so boring now with these stupid musicals.
Well, they honor plays, too.
Yeah, but there's hardly any plays.
The best play was Angels in America Perestroika. Stroika.
Can't even say it.
I know, Perestroika. Why does that have a Russian word in it?
Yeah, it's America.
One for best play. Best musical was Passion.
Shows you we haven't even heard any of these plays.
Best actress, Diana Rigg for Medea.
Nobody even cares. Nobody knows. Nobody cares.
I know. If I didn't read these names, we would never know these people.
That's what I'm saying.
Unless they did something else.
I like the Joan Rivers show just because she didn't sing. I didn't even care what she said. I like it because she doesn't sing in it. Joan didn't get an award?
No, she lost to Diana Rigg.
It was rigged.
Some other interesting things in the news. I guess this is someplace in New Jersey. Yes, on the Jersey Shore. A Trenton man. Oh, yeah, he was doing some kind of work.
Working on his jetty?
And he was working with one of those power saws.
Uh-oh.
And I don't know how, but he partially amputated his penis.
Get out of here. I was guessing.
Hector Alvarado, 24.
Ouch.
Ouch, he's right.
Cut his penis and his thigh on Wednesday with a power saw while working at a housing development.
He might be the new Messiah.
They rushed him to a trauma center where they did microsurgery to reattach.
Oh, that's insulting, Robin. Why do they have to release that microsurgery? Imagine if I had my penis covered, it'd be like, they did microsurgery.
They didn't have magnification high enough.
Yeah, unfortunately, they had to bring in the Hubble telescope to operate on Stern's penis. Now the guy has to have that microsurgery. Well, go ahead.
Well, the vessels are really small. I'm working with
no need to say that.
Small.
The guy had enough problems.
Parts there. They said it wasn't a complete amputation, thank goodness.
Thank God.
Some of the shaft was still properly attached.
What you say?
And according to hospital officials, it looks great.
It looks great.
Yeah.
So in other words, they were able to attach the head to the shaft.
Well, no, it was cut through the shaft, but only partially.
I see.
So
they were
part of the shaft was still there. They just had to reconnect the other
Imagine
part.
the pain.
Oh, I can't.
Ooga.
That must be horrendous. Now imagine cutting your penis and your thigh, and it was your thigh that only had the minor injury.
Yeah.
But the thigh wound was only skin deep, didn't really require much of anything.
Was he bombed?
I don't know. They just say that it was work-related because he was in the workplace at the time the accident occurred.
Tequila.
Also in the news, a man is stopped. You will love this. A man is stopped by police for drunken driving.
Yeah.
He assaults the officer. A passerby happening on the struggle shoots the assailant.
Good.
So the assailant sues the shooter.
Unbelievable.
When this case went to trial recently in Fort Worth, Texas, not only did the jury reject the plaintiff's suit for $1.7 million for his pains, but after hearing the evidence, they turned the tables and ordered the drunken driver to pay the injured patrolman $1.75 million.
Ah. Finally a jury. Where was this?
In Fort Worth, Texas.
You'll never see that in New York. Our juries are, because every decent person is busy working, all the bums sit on these juries, and they award the criminals outrageous sums of money.
One of the jurors said, we just want to make a statement. We're tired of the frivolous lawsuits.
Where'd they find a smart jury? I'll tell you something, but they see it's a different part of the country. There's still justice down there. Here, forget about it. Oh, man, we felt bad for the criminal. He didn't have a right to be shot. He was just struggling.
This is all from the Associated Press, and they do point out that that case occurred in the same week. A student in Pennsylvania sued his college for giving him a bad roommate. A roommate so bad that the student claims he suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah, and the college is supposed to know that. Listen, that's a kid who should be thrown out of college, and he should have to pay the college full tuition for the next 4 years.
And not go?
And not go.
In New Hampshire, there's a case in which a rape victim is suing not the rapist, but his parents, saying that they did a rotten job of raising him.
Nice. See, the lawyers who take these cases must be made to pay. That after these cases are thrown out of court, they have to pay a fee that will cripple them. Bastards.
Well, you'll be surprised that statistics show that the number of civil lawsuits has remained pretty steady. We really don't have a glut of lawsuits or frivolous lawsuits flooding the courts.
I'll be the judge of that.
Howard.
We do. Frivolous is a term that no one knows the definition of.
I see.
99%
it is the growing number
of these cases.
Of criminal cases and domestic relations disputes, such as divorce and child custody, that are clogging up the court system, according to this report.
Divorce is so easy. 50-50. End of discussion.
Not in the state of New York.
Nope.
Do you realize in New York both parties have to agree to the divorce? Or you can't get a divorce? was terrified of hospitals, delayed and delayed getting an ovarian tumor removed until it had grown to 156 pounds.
Let's play basketball.
Billy still weighs more.
Evelyn Jeffers says she wants to learn to roller skate with her grandchildren now that they've cut her weight in half.
Yeah. She had a 156-pound tumor and she didn't have it removed.
No. She
Why?
was too afraid of hospital.
Billy, you got 2 of those, right?
It's actually 2 pounds.
Gotta get Billy to lose a little weight.
Yeah.
I saw him with his shirt off in Cleveland.
Her waist measured 80 inches.
Thank you.
And that's when she finally decided it was time to get something done about it.
Yeah. Hey, Jackie, maybe you have a tumor.
That's not.
There are only 3 or 4 tumors in the world that have weighed more than hers.
Number 1.
The record is held by a 328-pound ovarian cyst, which was removed from a woman in Galveston in 1905. This woman still faces plastic surgery and other treatment to repair stretched tissue. Actor Tom Cruise found himself having to talk to lawyers.
It's his problem.
He had to give a deposition in a $40 million sexual harassment suit against the San Diego restaurant. Now, it has nothing to do with Tom, but the employee's attorney decided to call Cruise because apparently this is where he went to learn those fancy bartender moves he used in the movie Cocktail. Several of the waitresses there have filed a $40 million lawsuit claiming that there was an air about the place that encouraged sexual harassment. They say that they were pinched, subjected to sexual comments, and otherwise harassed while on the job. And they want to use Cruz's testimony to show that there was a general air about the place that encouraged that kind of behavior.
Can you imagine how the world has become so regulated? It's unbelievable. This is another lawsuit.
Yeah.
Who cares?
A Burlington chiropractor was indicted for charges of fondling 3 female patients. Oh, stop, Jackie. That's too
it's in poor
enthusiastic
taste to laugh at that. Yeah.
Ronald Goldstein, who's 47 years old, was charged with 3 counts of indecent assault and battery for performing the rib cage or chest spread and uterine massage.
Uterine massage. Right.
On women who came to him for neck and back pain.
Oh, that's great.
I need to align you.
Let me massage your chest. It's my neck that hurts.
Yeah. Yeah, but the neck is connected to the chest.
Well, what about your uterus? Let me rub that.
No, there's a connection there, too. I like this place. You go to, they rub your feet, and they tell you it's going to fix your neck.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that works.
Place?
All these chiropractors, they say, the foot is connected to different parts of your body. If you rub the toe, that's the same as rubbing your neck. So then rub my neck, you bastard.
The uterus bone connected.
You know what I'm talking about? They say every part of the bottom of the foot.
The practice of reflexology.
Yeah, that's science. So is Bozo putting on his wig. That's
I corrected myself. It is a practice, not a science.
The practice of stupidology, they call it. So you go to them, they go...
Didn't you get relaxed when you had it done to you?
Yeah, that's relaxed. She didn't tell me that.
Yeah, relax your whole body, though.
If you lie still.
If you lie still, I'll always be relaxed.
Oh, you.
Imagine they rub your heel, and then they go to you. Some of these chiropractors, they say, I'm going to rub your heel now, and if I rub your heel, it's the same as rubbing your kidney. I said, you bastard. I know you're giving me BS.
I never felt yet my kidney.
Yeah, my kidney. Reflexology. It reflects on you poorly.
Yeah.
That's why they call it reflexology.
Yeah. Reflects on your wallet.
Hey, Jackie, let me see your wife so I'll rub her crotch so that I can fix her neck.
They didn't say the neck. The crotch was connected to everything.
Oh, it is.
You mean her cervix can make her headache go away?
Sure, I'll show you how.
Oh, we'd believe that. Thank you, doctor.
After his arrest on May 31st, more than 45 patients contacted Burlington and State Police to complain that Goldstein had touched them inappropriately and made sexual comments during their exams. They didn't know it was wrong until they saw that he was arrested, I guess.
Something really strange happened.
Wait a minute.
Richard Pryor has told police that $450,000 is missing from his San Fernando Valley home.
What's he doing with that kind of cash there?
Nobody knows exactly why he had that much cash on hand. He just made the report, but he noticed that the money was gone in August.
Check your nose.
What a mess.
Of last year.
He is a mess. He is just an embarrassing
No one knows
mess.
why he waited to report the loss until last Friday.
What happened to him? He's so hip. Now he's just a mess.
They interviewed the 53-year-old comedian at his home.
53 going on 83.
Encino. He suffers from multiple sclerosis. He appeared weak, according to the sergeant who talked to him. Pryor told detectives that the only person who had access to the cash box was a former assistant who worked for him last summer while he was vacationing in Hawaii.
Check in the chocolate.
And Attorney General Janet Reno has weighed in with another opinion. It's wrong for U.S. professional athletes and lawyers to earn more than school teachers being entrusted with a growing number of parenting tasks in our schools.
Who asked her opinion?
Something is terribly wrong with a nation that pays its football players in the six-digit figures and pays a lawyer going to Wall Street right out of law school $60,000 to $70,000 a year and pays its school teachers what we pay them, considering what we ask them to do.
Yeah, so why doesn't she fork over more money for them? She's in government. That's the biggest crock of bull. And what are we paying her? It's got to be way too much money.
More than teachers.
Yep. So why is she making more money than a teacher?
Isn't she a lawyer?
Yeah. Why?
She never cried about it until now.
Look, here's
never
the point.
gave back a dime.
That's just lip service. That's called politicians giving you lip service. If a politician wanted to do something for you, they would look into the stabbings that go on here. They would look into the traffic problems that go on here. They'd look into where our money is being wasted. No, instead she's going to tell you, same stupid comment. You know what? It's really dumb when we pay the teachers. The reason football players make more money is because they generate money. School teachers don't have it so bad. They get to teach a bunch of kids some stuff. They get home at 3 o'clock, and they get all summer off. And if you want to make more money, go out and put a helmet on and go crash into each other and risk your life.
Make teaching a contact sport.
For goodness sake. Teaching's a very nice, safe job, and you get a little retirement, and that's it.
No risk involved. It used to be that way.
We're going to play teach. What do teachers generate in income? Nothing. There's a problem there. Someone who takes a life of a teacher chooses for a safe lifestyle. In other words, you're going to not make a lot of money, but you're going to have a job for 20 years or 30 years, and then you retire and you get a pension. It's a safety net. And you get lots of time for your family and your kids, and you get lots of time in the summer to do whatever the hell you want. Now, you don't want that kind of lifestyle. If you want to go out in the private sector and generate money, you do it. That's it. I'd like to teach. That's the
way the country works. Tell the Attorney General.
Yeah, it's called communism if you want it the other way around. But, it's lip service. It's good to say, with something wrong.
Go, she's on our side.
Yeah,
but she's not doing a darn thing.
No, lip service.
Lip service, yeah.
Yeah.
Lip service.
Yeah, lip service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Right, Grandpa?
Yeah, drop that lip service.
What were you on, the Munsters?
Yeah, I'm a Jewish Dracula. Yeah.
You ate more than the teachers, didn't you?
I want to suck your blood already. Yeah. Heisman, Maryland.
Janet Reno is big enough to play football.
Yeah.
Right? What?
I'll be the new Rabbi. Yeah.
For goodness sake. Try being a professional athlete. See how it is. See the pressure on you. Teachers don't get that kind of pressure. If you're not number one or your game slips a little bit, they fire you. Ask Leonard Marshall.
How long does your career last?
Yeah.
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 Reno, hatchet face. Yeah.
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 She's a wise guy.
You risk physical harm every time you go out there.
Isn't she? This is the woman. There was a kid stabbed during those riots here in New York. And isn't she the one who backed off the investigation and finally did it after much pressure?
Lots of pressure, yes.
Doesn't she have more important things to worry about?
Yeah.
Trump. Of course.
Trump.
She has been a big disappointment.
Go wrestle an alligator. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Old maid. Trump. Yeah.
It says in the Globe today, Howard, that Michael Jackson is enamored of Lisa Marie Presley, the
So am
heir
I.
to the Presley fortune.
I am, too. I'd marry her. I'd leave my wife for her.
Yeah, he's stable. Yeah!
They say that the superstar and Elvis's daughter are discreetly spending long weekends together behind the locked gates of Neverland Ranch.
Ooh, those locked gates.
Even before she split from her husband about 2 months ago. They say they're not lovers, but it is clear that Michael wishes they were, according to workers at his estate in Santa Barbara.
Excuse me. Doesn't Lisa Marie have a son?
Oh, boy.
I think she does.
Oh, no.
They kiss and cuddle, but nothing more.
What does Lisa say?
Listen, I don't know if that guy ever molested a kid or not, but if I had a son, I would not have him around Michael Jackson.
Why not?
They say
until they found out what was going on.
at the ranch, all the workers are shocked because they've never seen him with a woman before. Lisa Marie is 26 and Jackson is 35.
Maybe
They've
it's
been
bi.
inseparable for months.
If they see him,
Lisa was the one who mounted a campaign to get Jackson's attention, according to the Globe. She left numbers for houses in Los Angeles and fax numbers where she could be reached in Clearwater, Florida. She even sent messages attached to party balloons to attract his attention. They first met last February when they went to see the Temptations and the Fifth Dimension in concert at the Desert Inn Hotel in Las Vegas. They say that they sat near the front with Michael wearing a black robe and a headdress.
Rabbi.
sounds like he's a Rabbi.
And soon after, Lisa Marie was invited to the ranch.
A headdress. Doesn't like a Las Vegas showgirl wear a headdress?
Yes. Workers have spied them laughing and giggling in the main house while her two children and their nanny slept in the guest house 300 yards away. Through the window, we could see Michael drinking what looked like wine or champagne.
Right.
He seemed to be loving every minute of it, and at the end of the evening, he escorted her back to her guest unit.
I want to escort you back to your unit. To your guest unit.
They stood there talking and kissing for a while. At the end, Michael said goodbye like a schoolboy and half ran back to the house.
I'm going to run back to my house like a schoolboy.
They even have pictures with this article of Lisa Marie and Michael in a wig and a mustache and a baseball cap traveling around Disney World.
Now, who's wearing a wig and a mustache? Lisa
Michael.
Marie?
No, Michael.
Oh.
Now you look like a guy. Lisa Marie, I love you. I love you so much. I'm going to run back to my house like a schoolboy. Like a schoolboy. Tee. Tee. I want to kiss you. I'm going to kiss you. I haven't kissed a girl in a long time. Are the cameras? Can you get pictures of this for the Globe? Can people see me kissing a girl?
Isn't it a little weird that they can get pictures of? They can't get pictures of him with a boy, but they can get pictures of him with a little girl.
All of a sudden.
My private area was photographed. My lower extremities. Lisa Marie, I love you so much. Lisa Marie, is my face white enough for you? I'm whiter than Elvis. Hey, Mo. Hey, Larry. I love you.
Said that some woman has filed a paternity suit against Michael Jackson. She says her 10-year-old son is Michael's son.
The kid is not my son. I'm weirder than Mark Harris. I love the children. I love Lisa Marie.
So don't you think it's a little weird that they have all these pictures? This they can get onto Neverland and snap photographs
Right.
of? I think it's a little...
Because at first I thought he was out somewhere, but it is at his ranch, and you never see pictures. You don't even see pictures of the animals in that zoo.
I've seen more pictures of Camp David than I have of Neverland. Unbelievable.
They say that, what?
Yeah.
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 Don't yell so loud.
Weirdo. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
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 Michael Jackson, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Michael Jackson. Yeah. Yeah.
They say that Lorne Michaels is looking for some new talent to shore up Saturday Night Live because of a dismal season this year.
Jackie Marlon.
Jackie Marlon.
Yeah, me, you wouldn't ask. Remember all those years I was sitting there at NBC, great talent like myself?
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't bring himself. Bastard.
New York Magazine Intelligencer columnist Pat Weschler reports that 2 cast members of Kids in the Hall, Mark McKinney and Bruce McCullough, are about to be named full cast members and featured players.
That brings up the number of cast players to 136,000.
Actually, one will be a full cast member. The other will be a featured player.
How do you know the difference?
I don't.
Saturday Night Live is...
They say that Michaels is also trying to lure the former David Letterman writer Chris Elliott
Yes.
to join the cast.
He's extremely funny. It's really funny when he runs through the audience. What did he used to do, Chris Elliott? He'd run through the audience and pretend to be... What was he?
The man under the stairs.
Yeah, the man under the stairs.
Right. He was always something goofy, like
that's
the
a
man
killer.
here or the man there.
Yeah, notice I don't have mine anymore.
I can do that.
Hey, Jackie, why don't you be the man under the
I can be
stairs?
the man under the jetty.
It's really funny. They tap 2 guys from Kids in the Hall, a show that nobody watches. They're going to get people from a show nobody watches to do a show that nobody's watching anymore.
They're going to fix it.
They're going to fix it.
That means I have 2 more guys to dress in drag for the sketches.
Yeah. 2 more guys will probably do one bit that's funny, and then they can't think of anything else to do. That's what a featured player is. A guy who has one funny thing that he does.
Yeah, and he gets to come on and do that.
Yeah.
They say that Jay Leno is going to have Bobcat Goldthwait back on the show.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to appear in a taped skit, so they're controlling him.
All right. Well, you can't light fire to anything.
They're not leaving him to his own devices this time.
Yeah, frisk him, yeah.
They say Lauren Hutton had to put out the blaze using a cup of water.
I heard she squatted on a chair and made wee-wee.
Oh, gosh.
Wee-wee-wee-wee.
Tinkle, tinkle, tinkle.
I'm glad to see that he's not banned from the show for his activities. Still a little running scared from the press after that incident. He won't talk to anybody, will he?
No.
Because we'd certainly love to have him here to talk about his problems.
Well, he said he will come as soon as the court case is cleared up.
Is it still
He'll come in here
pending?
he'll come in here by the time no one's interested anymore.
Yeah.
Good way to play it.
I also see in the paper today that Chuck Scarborough is thinking of getting married again.
What's wrong with that guy? He's got the Johnny Carson syndrome. Chuck Scarborough is an anchorman here in New York who's like this really good-looking guy. He's been married like 3 or 4 times already.
Yeah, nobody knows exactly how many times. This could be his 3rd or his 4th wife.
And he just keeps getting divorced and married again.
His new girlfriend is interior designer Ellen Ward.
Why does he have to get married? Why doesn't he just... Give me Chuck's phone number. I got to ask him what he's doing wrong. Why don't you just continue to date? You know you're going to get sick of this one eventually.
It's been that way so far.
Yeah, I mean, realize.
But here's a man who lives with hope.
Yep. An incurable romantic. I told you Chuck didn't have a brain in that head. All he does is read. A puppet.
And they say here in the Inside New York column today that Eddie Vedder of Pearl Jam was married last week.
Another idiot.
They can't get anybody to confirm it, though. But there are rumors floating around.
There's a guy who could be dating.
And did you see that story on Tom Arnold, who took some Inquirer reporters with him, allegedly, to go confront his wife and try to patch up his marriage?
Mm-hmm.
Roseanne is in Italy, vacationing, so Tom flew over. And I don't know if the Inquirer reporters were brought by him or they just found out where he was, but they all wound up on the same plane. And when Tom tried to confront Roseanne because he thinks she is now having an affair with her bodyguard.
Wow. Any guy who sees that body and has to guard it couldn't possibly fall in love with it.
Well, Tom heard that they had spent 4 nights in the same hotel room. And in all the time that they were together, Rosie had never had to have the bodyguard stay in the same hotel room with her. That's what made him suspicious. So he decided to fly over and see what was going on, and he confronted her, and they had a big shouting match, and the Inquirer reporters and photographers were there to take pictures and see the whole thing.
She must have a blind bodyguard. It's the only way he could fall in love with her. Is it proper to call a 500-pound woman Rosie? There's nothing rosy about it. Rosie.
Paunchy.
Poncho. Rosie. Call her Jackie.
Hey.
Anything else, Robin?
Yes, the #1 box office movie this weekend was Speed, the new Keanu Reeves thriller.
Keanu.
Where'd he get that name?
Some hippie parents.
Keanu Reeves, yes, a new action hero. They're calling it Die Hard on a Bus.
Isn't he from Krypton? Keanu. Jor-El.
Made $14 million its opening weekend.
Wow. Keanu. That's the guy from Bill and Ted.
Yeah, it's really hard to think of him not saying dude.
I know. Keanu.
But that's what's happening.
Well, by the way, today on Sally, Jesse Raphael, you should mention this, Robin. They're going to have the 2 people on who believe the Michael Jackson romance with Lisa Marie Presley. Thank you. Hey, 1-800-52-STERN is open for business. Be sure to do it fast. I'm probably going to pull the tape off in a couple of days. So, order now or be there or be square. Isn't that the expression?
Yeah.
I don't know what the expression is. I'm worn out. Mondays are always the hardest.
It is tough.
Yeah, 1-800-52-STERN. You get the tape and the big poster, the Leroy Neiman poster. So those will be canceled once we take them off the market. That's it. No more distribution. $39.95, $4.50 shipping and handling. You must be 18 or older to order. And it's brought to you by Infinity Ventures and me. Jackie Platinum Joke Page Martling, congratulations to you on your Wild Comedy CD. $10 plus 3 shipping and handling. Congratulations also on you getting into first class on the trip to Cleveland. Thank God he was in first class.
You never heard the end of it.
I had to sit back there with a Butterfucos and cramp seating while you guys ate. And how come everyone else got to fly first class with me? Oh, Robin's more important than me.
Upgrade.
Anyway, to order Jackie's Wild Comedy CD, only $10 plus 3 shipping and handling. Price includes full-color Jokeland catalog. Call 1-800-323-5464. On our way back from Cleveland, it was my worst nightmare, Robin, when, we were in first class, and I sit down to get my chair, and I turn around, and who's in first class? Ralph. And no one else, not Fred or Jackie. And I go, Ralph, how did you get into first class? He goes, I just went over and asked for it. Dude, I just went over.
He claimed he paid for it.
No, he didn't.
He didn't?
No, he was going to, he said. He found out it was $30 more to upgrade to first class.
So that was too much?
No, he was going to, and they said, you know what, you're with the Stern party, you can upgrade.
So they just did it.
Because I got on and said, wait a second, Ralph, you mean to tell me Jackie and Fred aren't in first class and you are? How did that happen? And he goes, hey, dude, I don't fly in coach.
Oh, boy.
Dude,
Let me ask you something. When you travel with Ralph, jetting back and forth across the country, is he always in first class
Never.
with you?
Never. I make a point of it. To order Jackie's Wild Comedy CD, only $10 plus 3 shipping and handling. Price includes full-color Jokeland catalog. Call 1-800-323-5464. This Friday, one big show at the Comedy Cabaret in the Dover, Delaware Sheraton Inn. For information and samples of Jackie's CD, call 516-922-WINE.
Did Berryface mention to you that he pays for his own upgrade?
No, he didn't. He didn't.
He didn't?
No. This Saturday, June 18th, the Fred Norris Band at Downtime in Manhattan. Don't miss Stuttering John this Saturday, June 18th at Raw in Bayside, New York. And don't forget, for more information, call 609-546-STUPID. I'll be on Letterman June 24th. And if you're planning a wedding or summer party and you need... When is the 24th?
That is...
A Friday. A week from Friday.
A week from this Friday, yeah.
If you're planning a wedding or summer party and you need a great DJ, call Studley Scott the Engineer, Rocket Entertainment. In the New York tri-state area, call 718-BAG-5040.
Music the way You like it.
Did you hear Scott's demo tape yet?
No, I heard his answering machine again. Yes, it's got a new one now.
Oh, yeah?
And
What's that number?
It's the same thing, but it's,
Same number?
He just goes, music the way you like it. You like it.
Hi, this is Rocket Entertainment. No one's available right now, so please leave your name and phone number with area code, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you for calling Rocket Entertainment. Music the way you want it.
Hey, is this Scott? I'm a hot blonde. I'd like you to do my party. Party of one.
Me and my girlfriend.
Me and my girlfriend want to come over and teach you a lesson, big boy.
Do dirty things.
And do dirty things with your toupee.
Ooh.
I would just be like, hello, Scott. I just want to congratulate myself on making it through that whole bad message without hanging up.
Excuse me, can you do the Club Med dance?
Hands up, baby. Hands up.
All right, very good. Scott the Engineer, 718-BAG-5040. I got to go. I'll see you tomorrow, Robin.
Okie doke.
97.1 The Eagle.